Glad I have my coffee. Uh-oh, PlayStation 5. High security flaw exposed. And Fable is still coming out this year. Let's get to it, baby.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Crazy Lou's here, got something to say. Good morning, gamers, rise and shine. It's time to play, let's have a good time. Morning, gaming community. With Crazy Lou, it's a world of unity. Upbeat and lively, we're feeling so free. In the world of games, we're just meant to be. Grab us, come and eat a scene. Crazy Lou is ready, it's a gaming scene. Roomies trading people, we're skin. All recent gaming, go, Prince and pay top bean. Good morning, coming moving. It's a world of unity. Upbeat and lively, we're feeling so free.
Initiating launch sequence.
Let's begin. Good morning, everybody. All set to ready with the crazy one. Wish you a beautiful and awesome Monday and beginning of the week. Oh man, Dave Breezy in the building says, morning, Louie and Bobby. I've not seen Bobby for the last couple of days. Hey, why so serious? How you doing? What's up? Good morning. RSJ fan, good morning. Ooh, the game tester in the building. The best looking guy on YouTube. Ah, man. Maurice, it's a tough competition, though, because, when me and you get together, we form the best looking team. Maurice, when in the heck are you going to come by? I'm waiting for your butt. You see, I know you're busy, man. I know you're busy, because you're getting adjusted to everything that's new over there. But, man, let's do a show together one day, man. I miss you, my brother Maurice. I miss you. Oh, man, why so serious with the $2 super? PS gets hacked more than they had these first-party games. Oh, damn. Sablo. Good morning, Sablo. What's up? Meet the Cheater. We were talking. Man, Meet the Cheater can tell you about the process this morning. He can tell you that at 9:04, I was already ready to go to jump on the PC, but I was waiting for coffee, and the coffee took like 6 minutes to go on. Seriously? 6 minutes to go on? Usually it takes like a minute and a half and two. But the thing was, I was out for the weekend, so when you go out for the weekend, you got to close the gas on the stove, because it's always good to close the gas on the stove, because you don't know what might happen, though. So as I closed the gas on the stove, and when I got home last night, I forgot to turn it on. So, yeah. So I had to wait for the gas, the stove to put fire, and it took me a while, but hey, we got coffee though. But yeah, what's up, everyone? How is everyone doing today? Like I was saying, be nice. Hello. Good morning. Yeah. Ilegalidad, what's up, Ilegalidad? What's up? Good morning. So chat, Joey's gonna hop on later on today. I'm waiting for Joey to hop in. He's probably sleeping for a little bit. I hope he hops in, because we've been waiting for him for the last 2 weeks. Seriously, waiting for Joe for the last 2 weeks. I hope he can hop in so he can join the conversation. But for today, though, we have a couple things we got to tackle. We got the PlayStation Network, problem that we talked about it in December of last year, and we talked about it a couple months ago with the guy who's the biggest trophy hunter out there, that he faced a guy that hacked his account and everything, and he could not get it back. The top trophy hunter from PlayStation could not get his account back, but now, Chad, now. This is where it gets serious. Why? Oops, sorry about that. Why does it get serious right now? I'll tell you why. Because it's good old Colin. Oh, this is Colin. We gotta save him. Yeah. What do you mean? Joey was down on TT. Okay, what's the gossip? Why so serious? What happened? Tell me about it. Have you done the predictions for the game events coming soon? No, we have not done predictions for the game events coming soon, because, look, we're going to do them probably in the next couple of days, because, of course, it's all coming up next week. So we're probably going to have that for next week. to see what we predict, what's coming around and stuff like that, you know. Yeah. What do you mean? Have the Pony King? Who's the Pony King, though? Uh-oh. Don't tell me Joey flipped out. Joey was hyping Wednesday's chat last night. Laugh a lot. What happened? Uh-oh. Man, why so serious with the gossip, man? Chat, hold up. We got to read this gossip. We got to know what's happening. Colin is the Pony King. Oh, the Pony King. Okay, okay. Oh, of course. Since it happened to him, you know, now they're going to talk about it. Oh, yeah, it happened to me, you know. Now I got to talk about it and throw it out there. But, man, we've been talking about this for several times, though. Like I said, I talked about the guy, you know, the guy from over there in France who had the problem, the journalist. He wrote about it. And, of course, I talked about, you know, we talked about the guy who was the biggest trophy hunter in PlayStation got hacked too. We mentioned it twice, and it's been going on for quite some time. We saw Hazardous Gaming, you know, talking about how his account got hacked a couple years back, and he couldn't get it back either. You know, he brought it up the other day because, you know, of course, he wants to try to get it back, but now I think it's a little bit too late. I mean, 5 years ago, it's kind of tough to get that back, though. But it sucks that this security flaw keeps on continuing happening, and they're not saying jack shit. They've been quiet about it. You know why they haven't said jack shit, chat? Because they probably don't have a solution. And if they find a solution, of course, you know what's going to happen with that solution. It's going to come back to it, and, you know, they're going to find a way to hack it because Sony security has got to be one of the worst security that exists out there, my friends. It is. I'm sorry, it is. And how do we know it is? Simple. Back in 2012, I think it was, or 2013, when they got the big-ass hack, I think they have not fixed pretty much anything. They probably tightened a little bit of security, but at the end, though, it still is not tight enough. Pause. I know that sounded wrong, but it's true, though, because look what happened to all of them. I mean, the last 5 years, we had the Wolverine played all over the place. It's been 20 years exactly. The Wolverine game being all over the place. We had the Spider-Man information being all over the place. We had a lot of information leaked from PlayStation. We had the Crunchyroll 1 petabyte leave out of, you know, get out of proportion out there too with people's information. I mean, hell, I don't know why those guys have not started, you know, purchasing stuff with that information though, but they'd probably be purchasing on Temu and stuff like that. I don't even know what the heck they're going to buy though, but that's 1 petabyte from Crunchyroll. And like I said though, Sony does not have the most perfect security. And funny enough is, guess who brought up the other day a conversation about this, and you know, and he had to, you know, and GTA 6 League. Yeah, but the GTA 6 League was not, the funny thing is with the GTA 6 League, they had like 2 hacks in there. But remember one thing, this is GTA though. It's not like Sony. Sony is like, you know, with all this information that Sony has of people though, fuck. It goes out there. The GTA 6 hack were the game, and also because they did put some information about the game out there. And that you cannot talk about it on here online because, you know, if you talked about it, you probably could be banned or something like that. You know, you had to watch out if you even show pictures or anything about the hack. But yeah, and then there was the hack that, you know, that was showing out the numbers and everything. I'm like, okay, go ahead, show it. We don't care. It's just numbers. Who cares? People that hacked Sony saw they got no games in the works. I think it was 2011. That's why everyone needs to update their passwords off, right? Taylor, the problem is you can update anything you want, my friend. But the problem is that no matter how much you update, there's still a flaw with Sony security. Even with the double step factor, they still got a problem. People are still being hacked. So let's cover it real quick before Joey hops in. We're going to cover that first. And because then the rest is all about Fable. And I want to get Joey on a rant over something because, you know, I want to get Joey to bring something up. And yes, I have not put the sign up there, Chad. I'm sorry. I've not put the sign up there because we have had a problem with the sign. I tried using the sticky thing, so now I got to dig holes in there in order to put the sign up there. So let me bring this up right here. Let's talk about Sony's major problem right here with, and of course, this is the site they love the most, and now they hate it with all the love in the world, and that is Push Square. It says here, it's nuts. It's nuts, it's nuts. No, it's nuts, chat, it's nuts. Major PS5 security Vulnerability exposed and we're all at risk. Social engineering scam uncovered. Uh-oh. So let's read about this. I don't know, Safa would say use the bullet points, but you know, this one we gotta read to it. A major PSN security vulnerability has been exposed and any one of us could become a victim unless Sony tightens up its process. Early this week, I wrote a story about Sacred Symbol host Colin Moriarty. Aw, it's all good old Colin. Now we gotta protect him. Who was a victim of a social engineering scam which almost resulted in his PSN account being stolen from him. Now, a new podcast in which Moriarty regals the entire sordid tale has shed to light on a catastrophic flaw in Sony's system which could potentially affect us all. Here's what you need to know. All right, here we go. That is not necessarily a hole in Sony's network, and it's not a hack in the traditional sense. It does not involve breaching the PSN, extracting information from a database. I mean, bro, if they go into your account, they can extract your information. They can, if they go into your account. But okay. This does not involve phishing or extracting information from users via misleading web pages or email. This is a social engineering scam which relies on exposure of minor personal details such as email, address, and a transaction date. So you're telling me a minor personal detail. So it's that simple. So with the minor personal detail, like an email address, they can just go in and just hack your account because of that's it? Oh, wow. Interesting. One of my Moriarty's situation, I immediately contacted him to see if he ever inadvertently exposed to a receipt or transaction ID on social media or live stream. Alright? It says here, this because his situation reminded me of a similar story I was loosely aware of from last year involving French journalist Nicolas Lelouch. We talked about this, remember, chat? Oh, the Nicolas dude. We brought it up. In essence, it's possible to commandeer someone's PSN account by taking advantage of sympathetic customer service representatives who will accept just a few pieces of personal information. This may include a PSN username, an associated email address, a transaction ID, or purchase dates. If that seems unfavorable to you, X or Twitter user Port Poncho put it to the test. According to report, stop with the pop-ups. Thank you. According to a report embedded below, he was able to access his sister's PSN account with permission by providing customer support with the minimal amounts of easily accessible information, including two-game purchases and dates that they were made. Wow. This was a bit to be a thread, but I go into some stuff, so bear with me. Off the back of the very probable breach of Lance Island's Vipers PlayStation Network account, I've been doing a lot of research on the topic as who attacks these accounts, why they do it, and how they go. Let me finish reading that tweet, though. How they go about gaining access. The TLDR is that, unfortunately, PlayStation very clearly employs some of the cheapest support agents possible in random parts of the world, where this labor is cheap and the agent may not speak your language very well. They do not enforce certain security processes or procedures on those support agents, and it has left them with a gaping security hole in their support system that is unfortunately very easy to exploit. There is no way they don't know this, and there is no way they have not known this was an issue for a significant amount of time. And I'll tell you why is that though, chat. You want to know why is that though? And I'm going to put myself in big for this one. Why do you think, chat? Why do you think, my friends, this was not an issue? Seriously? Why do you think this was not an issue? I'll tell you why. Because once you hear one of these dudes going out there saying something about it, y'all start defending the hell out of that instead of joining that dude and say, hey, yo, Sony, you better fix this shit. And that's the problem. And that is something that's a big, major issue because, listen, it's been happening to a lot of people and people have been talking about it. They've been saying it. But now since it's Colin, now y'all pay attention because it's good old Colin. Why do you guys had to wait till it was Colin to bring that attention to light? Why? That's the honest question, I'm asking here. Because listen, if we saw like a big security flaw over there on Xbox, man, I bet you the Xbox community probably would flaw it and be like, "What the hell's going on with this? You guys got to fix this." Listen, this is a security breach of your information. That shit happens. We gotta talk about it. We cannot stay quiet about it. We gotta talk about it, throw it out there, and it's not that you're talking bad about the brand. You're just telling the brand, "Hey, yo, you gotta fix this." Period. This is something that needs to be fixed. We don't have to wait till it's Jess Corner. We don't have to wait till it's Asha. We don't have to wait till it's none of these dudes. No. We don't have to wait through none of that. No. We don't have to wait for none of that. No. For that to happen. But no, here on PlayStation, they were waiting for it to happen. Now it happened to Colin. Now you guys are talking about it. Wow. Incredible, chat. Incredible. Let's keep reading this, so end this right here. Hey, who is that? Apex NYC, good morning. Raging, sliding through. What's up, Raging G4? How you doing, my friend? Yeah. Everything's good for you? Yeah. It's all right. Let's finish reading this article, so that way I already know how to use the bullet points. I learned this weekend. I promise you. I was going to learn it software. I did learn how to use it, but for this one, though, we got to read this because there's a lot of information right here. I'm already noticing in this podcast that information could easily be interfered from public available trophy data. It'd be reasonable to assume, for example, that if you started earning trophies in Resident Evil Requiem on 27th of February, launch day, you may have bought it on the same day. Hackers may not know whether you purchased the game digitally or physically, but with enough attempts and with a sympathetic enough support agent, you may be able to relatively easily commandeer someone's accounts. Once inside, hackers are able to change email addresses, disable two-factor authentication, and remove passkeys, all without any further security blockades. Effectively, you'll be locked out of your account with no resource. Uh-oh. Moriarty acknowledges during the podcast that he was able to rapidly escalate the situation using his connection with Sony. Many of us will not have the same privileges. Like hazardous gaming didn't happen. But yeah. All right. In fact, prominent members of the fan base have been struck with similar scams, including the trophy hunter Hakum, who was never able to recover access to his account. Shit. Marty says he passed. Everything is turned on to Sony, and in fairness, it looks like it does seem like the company's taking things seriously. Really? Now? Seriously? But what happened to Hakum, though? I mean, Hakum has more trophies than fucking Colin. What happened to Nicholas up there? Nicholas, what's his name? Nicholas, let's go catch his name again. Nice shirt, though. Nicholas, to Nicholas Lelouch. What happened to Nicholas? I mean, seriously. And in fairness, it does seem like the company's taking things seriously. Really? It is? Of course it is now. Yeah, after so many times though. But yeah, but it's frightening to see how seemingly simple it is for any of us to have our accounts stolen. These accounts, of course, have our treasured PlayStation memories and, more importantly, potentially thousands of dollars of digital purchase attached. Yep. And that was the update. I'm not going to read that update. I read through it. And it's like, seriously, he's like, yeah, but you know, good old Sony helped me. It's nice. It's cool. It's all this stuff. But you cannot be good old Sony. You should be mad at this response, though. I mean, if I was me, I would have been pissed. I would have said, yo, Xbox, get your fucking act together and fix this shit. I'm not kidding you. If I was hacked, I would have said the same. That's what I would have said, though. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, good old Xbox, you know, this. And listen, I would have gotten my account back and I would have said loud and clear, even though I got my account back, you guys need to fix this shit so it doesn't proceed, though. But he puts out there, like, the most beautiful, like, peaceful response to it. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Even though you're friends, though, you got to be honest and truthful about it. You got to say, hey, man, you got to fix your shit, period. That's it. But you know how people are. You know, keeping it polite because, of course, you know. Yeah. You want me to read the tweet? Here, I'll read it. Oh, shit, this is a lot. Now, this one, I'm going to use. So here we go. An update. I'm sorry I've been quiet, but I spent the last couple of days learning as much as I can about PSN account theft. How long it's been happening, why people are being affected, and so on. I've likewise exchanged a ton of emails with a spoken extensively on the phone with the multiple high-ranking people at Sony in different departments over a series of lengthy calls. I want to sincerely thank them for listening, asking great questions, being thorough and thoughtful, and doing everything they can to help. I owe them a lot, and through their efforts, that I hope we will see action. Wow, such a peaceful thing though. On the next episode of Sacred Symbols, I will go deep into what we've learned, and because it's so important, we will make this episode free for all upon release this Friday. The reality, as far as we can tell, is that a PSN is extremely vulnerable. It's so-called social engineering, using completely mundane information. Like what you'll find on Walmart or Target receipt, if that combined with nothing more than an email address, and using those details to hijack innocent people's accounts via call center customer service representatives. This technique completely circumvents not only your password but your 2FA, etc. It happened to me, it's happened to many others, and it will continue to happen unless fundamental changes are made. In addition to the people at Sony that have been so helpful, I want to thank people in the community with IT, InfoSec, etc. backgrounds who have stepped in major ways, all without being asked. We've learned enormous amount about the who, what, where, and why, and so on, all because of the people voluntarily their time and effort. I'm actually pleasantly shocked how good these folks are. We've all been and will continue to be passing along everything we've learned and continue to learn to Sony in hopes that we can be useful in solving this major problem for the entirety of the PlayStation community. Wow, seriously? Now? This is like the most polite thing I've ever said. I mean, I would have summed all this up and said, hey, Sony, here's the list. Simple. You guys got hacked for Spider-Man. You guys got hacked for Wolverine. You guys lost 1 petabyte of Crunchyroll. And in 2012 or 2011, you guys got the big PSN security thing that took people's credit cards. It's been this many years. Fix your shit. That's what I would have said. That's all. I would have summed that up instead of being like, oh, yeah, you know, nice, that. No. You got to be straight with them. You got to go ahead and man, seriously. You got to bash them for that. You can't be like, oh, you know, they helped me out. It's cool. But look, it's good that you got your power, man. It's good that you got people, you know, in the side of Sony that can help you out with this stuff. That's cool. That's nice. But what about the rest of the people out there that don't have that power that you have or that access that you have, my friend? I mean, that sucks for the people out there. And it sucks for them because, you know, they lose their account after you put so much effort into that account. Shit. And you write the nicest email because they helped out. I would have told them straightforward, say, hey guys, you need to fix your shit. No joke. Guys need to fix this. It's been 13 years. There's been a lot of hacking, a lot of stuff that's released from you guys. You guys need to get stricter with this. That's what I would have said. Period. But all right. Cool. Sony needs Norton security system. Ah, damn. Oh. Man, I don't know. They need everything though. So it says here, I'll contact Sony to see if they have any comments of any of this, and I'll update if I learn more. In the meantime, I would encourage you to browse your social media history and see if you did ever inadvertently expose any transaction IDs or receipts. It's probably best not to have those out there in public. I'd also encourage you to listen to Marty's story, which is available outside of Patreon early for all to listen to through here. And it is already... And as it really gets into the nitty-gritty of what actually occurred here and why it's something we should all be concerned about. But again, now, I mean, this has been going on for like the longest of time, and now you guys are worried about it because it happened to Colin, though. That's what kind of irritates me. Like, if someone goes out there and says something, you all trash them. But since it's Colin, though, now it's serious. None of this places blame on Sony. Kind of incredible, huh? Sony never has been hacked since 2011, and they really haven't done much to fix it. They haven't done anything. I mean, look, they have done a lot of good steps, like the two-step factor, stuff like that. But if it's that easily for you to gain someone's access to its account, and you said that, you know, that they don't need that much information just by a simple email. So if you go out there and you post, just... okay, this is my email address. So basically, you put your email address for business or anything, they can access to all your accounts and everything. Holy shit, my friend. You're in a big problem right here. You have to pay to read about a pony getting hacked. But yeah, like I was saying though, and this is how it goes, chat. It doesn't matter who it is, what company it is. We can be the biggest fan of the company. If there is a flaw going out there, we gotta bring it to light. We cannot stay quiet about the flaw. Because at the end of the day, that flaw gets bigger. It does. Even though it was, let's say, Nicolas Lelouch, it was Hakum, it doesn't matter. This situation has been going on for quite some time and people have been talking about it. And now because it happened to this one dude, now you all have to go out there and talk. Come on, man. Come on. Not like this, though. You guys got to tackle that thing down. Maybe that's why PS5 has no web browser, another way to get hacked. I think they don't have a web browser because they don't want you to go out there and access Game Pass. That's why I don't have a web browser. They don't want you to go on there and access GeForce or Game Pass. That's why I don't have a web browser. Basically, it's not because of the hat, though. Sunny Secret Sauce is poop in the microwave. Oh, man. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks that you got to read through this right now. It sucks that they're actually talking about it. But in the end, though, I hope they get to fix this right now. And I hope they really take charge of it and probably make it a bit more stricter than how it was before. But at the end, though, I don't think it will be enough to fix the Sony security hacking situation because it gets hacked a lot. Man, it sucks to see it get hacked a lot. No joke. Like I said, Crunchyroll got hacked. You lost 1 petabyte, even though has nothing to do with PlayStation, but it's a Sony company. You also had the Spider-Man leak. You also have all this stuff that got leaked. The Wolverine game was out there. People actually played the Wolverine game in an alpha stage, I think it was. I mean, that's what they said, though. I did not see it, though, to confirm it. But that's what they say, though. But if you got information like that leaking and stuff like that, imagine that. That's and here's the funny part, chat. That's top company priority right there. No joke. That is top things right there from the company that has been leaked. Period. No joke. Imagine the PSNs. So if you don't got security for your high priorities, imagine how the high security is going to go over there for the PSN network. Come on, man. I paid God of War PS4 Pro is on the way. But I never got a PS4 Pro. It's okay. If you got it for real cheap, it's good, though. As long as you didn't overpay for it, Safo. Like, if you paid $500 for it, I would have been like, whoa. But if you got it for a good price, you know. Good. Next up, I was Source One X. Alright. Maybe that's why PS5 is no. Okay, we read that. But yeah, chat. Now it's a Colin thing. Now we gotta talk about it. But Lelouch, it's Lelouch saying something, you know. It's okay. Hakum, he's the biggest trophy hunter out there. It's okay. We don't mind if it was Hakum. It's alright. But now since it's Colin, though, we gotta take this seriously. You know, it's Colin. He's a PlayStation, you know, podcaster. We gotta protect our podcasters. Wow. Seriously. Incredible. How long has it been? So let me go look for that. Let me see. PSN. When did it happen? So let's see though. Oh, it was in 2011 then. So it was in 2011. Like people are saying in the chat though, confirm. I thought it was 2012, 2013. I always get my date slots. So 2011 till now has been 10. Since 21 is 10. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 15 years. Y'all always seen it mean to tell me that in 15 years you guys have not fixed the damn security problem. 15 years. Good thing I never put my credit card on PlayStation though. I mean, they want to take away the account. Shoot, I only got like 5 or 10 games in there, but damn. Incredible. And that's why, you know, you can't put your ID out there. Now it's your ID. Now they can pass through with your ID, take your information, take your credit cards, and take everything and do whatever the fuck they want with that. Wow. Ooh. All right, chat. Let's keep it going because we got a couple more things we want to tackle here. Oh, it froze again. And wait till Joey hops in, though. He has written to me and said, Lou, let me see. I think Joey's still in bed, though. Didn't he say he was on vacation, though? All right. All right, Safo, for this, I'm going to use what Safo taught me to use, and that is bullet points. Woo. All right. Let's see if I can do this. Or what is it? Copilot. How do you use Copilot again? Ah, shit. Come on, Lou. You learned this yesterday. Where is it? I lost it. Ah, here we go. Open Copilot. All right, there you go. Oh, let me copy this and summarize this article that we're going to put on here. Hey, said love my brother, good morning. Edge Browser, yes, Joey will definitely show up. He has a lot to say. He does, though. Oh, they got away from marching orders. Oh, man, let's see. Can you summarize this article? All right, so verify. I'm very human. Yes, I'm very human, my friend. Thank you for that. All right, well, Copilot does his job, you know, to summarize the article because, you know, Safo told me, please use this, stop using all this stuff. You know, reading all these long-ass articles, you know, and I said, okay, Safo, I promise you I'll learn it. So now I learned it. So that way I don't have to read through them damn long-ass articles. Yep. So now we're going to move on to the good news that comes down to Forza hits. Haha! Forza Horizon 6 hits a massive milestone across Xbox, PC, and Game Pass after its explosive release. It just set a new Steam peak player count too. Oh, baby. Forza has been a massive success. Yes, and we're happy about it and happy to read about it. Yep. So, I'm hoping the price and the review of Helix happen this Summer Game Fest. I don't think the price will. I think the console might be revealed. I said I think though. I think, but we don't know if that's gonna happen though. But all right. So this is a summary of the article. It says here, Forza Horizon 6 has had a massive record-breaking launch across Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Within 1 week of early access, May 15 and 2 days after full release, the game has already surpassed 6 million players across all platforms. New Steam peak. Here we go. Bullet points. What is it? Bullet points, right? The game hit, 284,139 concurrent Steam players on Steam. A new all-time high for the franchise and is expected to surpass 300,000 soon. Huge early access launch. Xbox CEO Esther Sharma confirmed it was the biggest early access launch in Forza Horizon history, nearly reaching 200,000 concurrent Steam players before full release. Critical acclaim. Forza Horizon 6 is currently the highest rated game of 2026, holding 91 out of 100 Metacritic score and receiving widespread praise for its polish and visuals. Community excitement. Players are loving the new Japan setting, and the game is dominating social media and streaming platforms. Says availability. The game is available on Xbox Series S, Steam, Game Pass, PC, with discount prices for standard, deluxe, and premium editions. But chat, Forza is kicking ass. Yes, this has got to be a gaudy contender. Now the question is, will Jeff Keighley put this in the Game Awards? But Louis, that's players, not sales. Channel my inner PS ponies. Here's what's funny though, bro boy. I mean, I know Joey put a post out there. My brother Joey put a post out there saying, you know, you guys need to be more and say the sales and put it out there. And I said this loud and clear, Joey. I said, listen, Joey, they can post that Forza Horizon 6 sold 10 million copies. They can post that and they will still find a flaw to it. So no matter what they say, it's still bad. But here's the funny thing, though. 6 million players, though. That's a lot of people playing this game. That's a lot of people enjoying the hell out of this game. But what happens if you have a great studio giving players what they wanted and knocking it off the park? But this is what happens when you have a great studio and giving players what they want and knocking it off the park. 100% correct. Yep. Safo says, no, Jeff already threw a shade of on the game. If I remember, Jeff is an industry plant. And the answer is no, he won't. I mean, chat, we gotta wait till the Game Awards, though. We're gonna sit there and watch what is gonna be the Gottis of 2026. What is it gonna be nominated, though? And I know he's probably going to put that game into Racing Game of the Year, but so, who cares? Yeah, they are going back to GT 7 talking about it. Beat the Cheater says, Xbox is dead. That is, how does that man say it? I forgot his name. According to analysts from Alinea Analytics, oh god, no. Why are we using Alinea though? According to analysts from Alinea Analytics, the game sold an estimated 4.9 million copies in the first week and generated more than 325 million in gross revenue. That's Alinea Analytics though. I would not trust that though. But again, look, even though it could sell 10 million copies, it could sell 15, they will still find a flaw to it, no matter what. No matter what, they will find the flaw and talk bad about it. And that's the bad part about these fanboys, because they're never happy, though. Sapo says, I'm not watching the Game Awards. I mean, I hope that these guys this year said we're not going to watch it, though. But probably we will. I just find it a bit boring nowadays, the Game Awards. I do. It's just nothing for me to go on to it. It's going to be Saros sweeping the Pony Awards. But what is Saros going to win, though? It's going to be Saros and Wolverine, you think? Yeah, an RPG wins RPG of the year and also Game of the Year. So why can't games from any category? Ilegalidad. I seriously don't know how the schematics work over there. But I always say this about him and his own thing, right? Look, he does the show every year. And for example, last year, at least, it should have been one game from Xbox being announced for the Game of the Year, because Xbox published how many games out there? Last year, they published so many games and none of them got into the rank, though. And that sucks, though. That sucks. Last I saw for Forza Horizon 6, SteamDB has estimates of 3 outside sources of sale. The average of those sources is about 2 million Steam sales. That's nice. Nobody's talking about Sorrows. They're not. Spider-Man will win best sports games. I mean, they released a Spider-Man, though. Around 2.8 million copies were sold on Steam. Roughly 2.1 million copies were sold on Xbox console and on cloud. 3 million additional players access through Game Pass. They make up the rules as they go. Yeah, that's true, though. They make up the rules as they go. Destiny 2 gonna win an award just because it's indie support. Probably will, though. It's gonna win an award because it's indie support. Oh, man. You guys with the jokes, though. You guys with the jokes. But, look. I'm glad Forza's doing fine. I don't care what Alinea Analytics say, because Alinea Analytics is a hit or miss. I don't care what they say. Majority of a miss than a hit, though. I mean, it's literally like 98% missed and 2% hits. But at the end of the day, though, I'm just glad it's doing fine. I'm glad, you know, that it peaked on Steam. I'm glad that you know that the game is doing fantastic because, hey, I played the game and the game seems fun. Super fun. And I can't wait till we start up again Forza Fridays, where we all get together on Fridays, me, Maurice, Patu, and all them dudes, and play these games. Yep. Have some fun. That's all. That's all. Let me see. Wolverine will be talked about for a week. It all depends on what happens though that week. It all depends on that though. It's true. It's true. It all depends on what happens on that week though, Chad. I mean, it depends. If we get a week, we need to force a game. Yeah, we can do a force a game night. I'm down for it. I'm down for force a game night. I'm down for that. I mean, look, this is a game that brings people together. This is how, I met the guys from Midweek Mix-Up. This is how I hang out with the guys from Midweek Mix-Up. We had such a blast playing Forza Friday. It was hilarious. Every Friday, it was between 3 and 6 p.m. Eastern. We just sat there and just drove and just had fun. Me, Dazzy, Pachu, Parent Plug sometimes. We one day had Boxing Burger and it became Raging Burger. No joke. Boxing Burger said, what the? Yeah, in his German accent. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. We were laughing so hard that day. It was hilarious, man. Just having Boxing Burger cursing all the way. Hey, Lamont Davis. Good morning, my brother. How you doing? Good morning. Yeah, good morning. We had a blast, chat. We had a blast. And that's how it is. And that's what we got to do. We got to get the community together and game some more. Forza Horizon 7 will be the best set in the Dominican Republic. Drive where? I mean, you're going to have a problem, though. If you do a Forza Horizon here in Dominican Republic, you're going to hear a lot of horns honking. I mean, right now I'm sitting here, I'm already hearing horns out there in the streets. No joke, you hear horns all day. People honking the horn. Beep, 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 get out the way, stuff like that. That's what people do in this country. They honk the horn. So I can't imagine Forza Horizon 7 being Dominican Republic, we're going to be honking the horn. And not only that, drive where though? We don't have enough speedway to drive. I mean, look, listen. There was this, let me see though. Because I got a motorcycle, let me go check. So there's like 2 areas in Dominican Republic you can actually like push a little bit your speed though. But you can't push it too much because you don't know if a damn goat was going to run in or a cow or a horse. You know that's going to happen though. If Forza Horizon 7 is in DR, we have to knock down Presidente for points. But I mean, there's no then we got the Zona Colonial, but the Zona Colonial here is so tight that you cannot like, okay, let me drift through that or speed through that because it's such small streets though that you can only fit 1 car in there. That's how small it is, but there's not like that big much of a space like to do a racing. Punta Cana on the other hand is okay, but still though, like I sit here and I think about like, okay, what would be a good zone to do Forza in Dominican Republic? And that's a tough one though. And like I said, there's only like two or three places here where you can speed 100%, and that is one place I went on the motorcycle that it was that it was just a straight line that you can literally grab the motorcycle because you can see all across that straight line what comes ahead and what's not though. So you can probably push that motorcycle, down to 200 to 300 miles per hour though. But that's it. Other than that though, there's no place here. Forza Horizon 7 should be in Panama. Now, Panama's probably got a larger place for, to put Forza Horizon 7 in there, though. But here in Dominica, those a tough one, though. But, if they do, cool. But it's a tough place, to grab streets, to grab areas, for you to speed, drift, and stuff like that. It's too small. It's too small. It's like when people say, when you buy a Porsche here, sometimes we say, it's like, where are you going to drive this? Seriously. All right, started playing Forza at 4. Have they been in the U.S.? There should have been some in the U.S., though. Let me go see, though. Has Forza Horizon been in the States? Let's go see. Has Forza Horizon been in the States? There's got to be some in the States, though. Yes, the very first Forza Horizon was set in the state of Colorado. Yes, sir. In Colorado it was. There you go. There's your answer. Let's see, though. John Bon Zombie, he says, I'm super excited tomorrow. I'm doing the alpha playtest of State of Decay 2. That's all I'm about to say. My first time in a playtest. Wow, John Bon Zombie, you're going back to 2012? I mean 2014, 15? No, I'm just kidding. I know we're talking about State of Decay 3. I know, I'm just picking on you. Just picking on you. If they want to sell a huge amount of copies, they'd have to set the next one in China. Now, China, though, is a big place, though. And that's what I mean, though. Like you know, Forza Horizon 7 New York City traffic jams. Imagine it being in Dominican Republic, though. It'd be like, not only that, because look, you got to watch out for the horn honking and also the potholes. Holy smokes. Can you imagine having a race, you know, driving, all of a sudden you hear dum, and your car like flips? Like, what the hell? You hit a pothole. That's another thing you got to watch out here in DR, man, is them big ass potholes. Holy shit. Oh, man. But no, if they do it here, that'll be awesome, though. That'll be awesome, though. I mean, that'll be a cool place, you know, to do it. If they did it here. I know Vin Diesel likes to film him sometimes. I know, you know, we had John Cena here the other day. We had Keanu Reeves being here, and I did not know Keanu Reeves was here, because if Keanu Reeves would have been here, we'd be like, Keanu, let's ride a motorcycle. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. But, yeah. I'm happy Forza's doing good. Excellent, of course. We knew this was going to happen. I mean, those guys from Playground, they really do an amazing job when it comes down to Forza. We know it was going to be a good game, and I love that, you know, they sat there and worked every detail of the game. I love how they added all the cool stuff in there. The races are fun. Like always, Forza kicks ass. Now, what is missing, though, is a good story, though. I wanted, you know, having that evil dude that burns on your car, and, you know, you have to face after him, and that. From what I hear about Keanu, if you ask him, probably, yep, I know, yep. Maybe Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii is a nice place, though, too. Yeah, there's a lot of places you can race, though. Good races, too, like good things. But here, though, it's gonna be a tough area to find, though. The next Forza is in Canada. Oh, that's another place, too. Yep. Yep. I got a good one. How about Germany, though? Maybe Africa. Yeah, Africa or India. That's a good one, too. Germany could be another one, too. I heard Germany has got some nice highways to speed in. I mean, what's his name? Maurice was telling me that that if I ever go to Gamescom, right, I could stay at this place, and he said it's only 2 hours away, and we can just get on the highway and speed. I said, Maurice, let's rent a car and speed the hell out of that car, though. The game Forza Horizon copy was in Hawaii. Really? Interesting takes. Let me see if Joey's gonna hop in, though. Let's go see. And let's get the key points out of here with this one before my friend Joey hops in. Alright, let's grab this article right here. Pow. Alright, here we go. Good stuff right here. Alright, let's go. Where is Copilot? My friend Copilot. Let me ask him to summarize this article. Let me delete this. Okay, let me refresh this. No. Please delete this. Please delete. Uh-oh. Safo, we ran into a problem. How can I delete this, Safo? Okay. Okay, here you go. Next message. Okay, now I see it. All right. Can you summarize this article? There you go. Let me post this right here so we can talk about this. Ooh, man. Because like I said, it's a lot of good news coming around. And all right, here we go. So the article reads loud and clear, my chats. We're not done yet. Forza Horizon 6 dev says it's still releasing Xbox and Fable later this year, So don't worry about a delay for the RPG. That is actually good fucking news. I'm glad, we're getting this game this year, because I know there's been a lot of worry and people throwing out there like, yeah, this game, might probably not come out, but at least we still got the good news of the game coming in. So let's see. They should do a force in Canada. We need a Trans-Canada Highway. It goes from Quebec to British Columbia. It takes days to drive it. That will be cool and force a game. Cheater is a pony. Really? Which game did Forza Horizon copy? If they want car history in various American Scandinavian countries. Oh. Yeah, the test drive unlimited was in Hawaii. Oh, that's true though. The United States has 2 highways that are more than 3K miles long each. Wow. Nice. I can't believe Tekken 8 guest character was Yujiro Hama from Baki. Really? That's awesome. Test drive actually came out before Forza. We're taking years back to the Commodore 64 days. I remember last year Pony kept saying Fable is canceled. Really? They said that? Aww. Poor dudes. Poor dudes. So key points about this article. Let's read it through. It says here, Playground Games confirms that Fable is still released in 2026 despite the massive launch of Forza Horizon 6. The studio says we're not done yet, directly shutting down fears of delay. Woohoo! You're kidding. He did say that? What happened? Playground Games, the developer of Forza Horizon 6 and the upcoming Fable reboot, posted on LinkedIn celebrated FH6 huge launch. In the same post, they reassured fans that the Fable is still coming out later this year. Forza Horizon 6 just launched and a massive success, so some players worried that the studio might delay Fable to 2027. The LinkedIn message directly addresses that concern. We're not done yet. With Fable coming later this year. What we know about Fable is, and this is what we still know, and to be honest, though, this is all we have known. You'll probably see more on the Xbox showcase, like finally they released it and everything. Still scheduled for fall 2026 on Xbox Series X and S, PC Game Pass, and PS5. Which I hope they consider and take that PS5 away and delay it. I mean, that'll be funny stuff if they consider delaying that sucker and we're going to put it out for like 2 years later. Just to make them mad. A full release date is expected at the Xbox Games Showcase on June 7th. The last gameplay reveal was 11-minute deep dive showed reactive world systems, slice of life RPG elements, classic British humor, and combat and exploration improvements. Let me see. Community developer reactions. Windows Central staff were impressed with the January gameplay demo. Favorite creator Peter Molyneux said he was tearing up watching the reboot and praised the decision to reboot the franchise. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hearing those key bullet points right there is good stuff right there. But yeah, chat, we're getting Fable later on this year, so we don't have to worry if it's going to be delayed or if it's canceled. I can't believe that Colt said was one of the guys who said that Fable was canceled. I got a question though, and I got a question, chat. In all honesty though, seriously, an honest question though. Why do they say stuff like that? Like, I'm being honest though, like why do they have to like push that limit and go deep into saying something though? Like going deep and saying like, okay, look, this is gonna happen, this stuff like this. I don't gaff how a guy walks in a video game. I'm not that okay. How a guy walks in a video, huh? What's that about you, babe? I'm lost there. Colt goes whichever the way the wind is blowing. He has no opinion of his own though. But why would I make a video not getting confirmation that this game is canceled though? Why would I do this though? Okay, even though I'll probably get views, and even though I'll get some cool stuff from it. It's like the whole debate with what would you choose between Xbox exclusives or Xbox Game Pass Day 1. I'm like, why do you gotta bring this up, But again though, why would you make a video like that? Because at the same time, it's like you're pleasing the PlayStation fans to come watch your video. Because that's what you want. You want the PlayStation fans to come watch your video, though. But at the same time, though, you're literally telling people to get away from the box, though, by saying it's canceling it. Because look, if Gaz said Fable was going to have a massive delay because Force Tech was a terrible engine and it was having to be completely rebuilt in UE5. A dev had to come out and debunk it, and it was because Mina ran with it. Of course, that's what I'm saying though. Like, you throw stuff out there, and literally what you're telling the player is like, bro, get away from us. Like, shoot. What do you mean by that, though, is like, okay, like, if you go out there and say that Fable has been canceled, you're literally telling the person that Xbox is canceling games left and right. That's what it sounds like. And you'll probably be saying, oh, Lou, you're over-exaggerating. No, I'm not. Because people do tend to go out there and over-exaggerate because that's how misinformation gets spread. How do we know this? Because it happens all the freaking time. Look, the other day, Nib wanted to spread some misinformation about the chips of the Xbox Helix, and he got shut down by Ronald like that. I asked Cope Southwood, TK, show me proof Sony was pulling single player games from PC. He says, an article about what Jason Schreier said. He's a clown. I mean, let me tell you something. Right now, I still, even though that was said in a town hall and Schreier reporting on it, that supposedly Herman Host said this in a town hall, I'm still in this area where I say, I still don't believe nothing that they say unless Sony comes out themselves and says, or Herman Host comes out and says literally loud and clear, an investment note or whatever, and he says, hey, look, we're not going to release these games anymore on PC, period. Has to be from Herman Host's mouth. Not because, you know, he heard from a town hall meeting that this was going to happen. I not see it coming out of Sony yet. But here's the thing, though. Why? But okay. I mean, unless if they're going to release 1 or 2 games a year or something like that, then that's a different story, though. Then, you know, you can probably have it exclusive, though, see how it sells, though. But then comes the terms of the budget behind the game. Then comes the terms, you know, with all this stuff. But yeah, let's see how that goes, though, when it comes down to those games, you know. Yeah. Delaying game on Xbox because they have having trouble with the PS5 version makes no sense. No, they were having problems with running on the PS5, so it was delayed. The Series and PC versions are ready to go. Dustin Townsend says their exclusives don't sell. Because the problem is, that Dustin Townsend is that they have a belief, and they think that everyone who's on PlayStation thinks like them, and that is something that we know is not true. I don't believe all of us are the same on Xbox. I do not believe that. I don't. There's still got to be people who buy games on Xbox. There's still got to be some. There's still people, you know, who just sits on Game Pass and plays the games on Game Pass. There's people like that. There's people out there who probably buy 1 game a year and that's it and just play that 1 game a year. There's a lot of people like that on Xbox. And like I said, we don't think the whole same. There's some people that talk and rant about exclusives that, you know, all the Xbox exclusives, all this stuff and all this shit. But in the end, they don't even play those exclusives or finish them. They think their exclusives move the needle, but nah, it's always been third party. People who quote Shire as an official Sony statement are low IQ, smooth brain. But look, we cannot take away that Shire, you know, really does a good job when it comes down to reporting. Of course, we cannot take that away, right? We can't take away when it comes down to reporting. He's pretty good at it. But at the end of the day, though, he's an insider, and it's a hit or miss. So we gotta wait for the full confirmation from Sony. Now, if Herman Holmes goes out there and literally says this loud and clear on a Sony meeting or conference or whatever, he says, "Look, we're not putting any more single-player games on it," and you know that came out from Sony to the public hearing, then I'll be like, okay, you know, it's true, because maybe in a meeting he said that. As of now, you know, we're not releasing this. But again, plans can change, and they probably might say, hey, we're going to release this because it didn't sell so well, let's put it on PC, see how it goes. So that's how it is, though. People, let me see. Yep, that's what I asked for, and he sends me used to start laugh my ass off. I have zero respect after the ABK scandal. That's how it is, though. Some people put things, out of perspective sometimes. But again, going out there and saying this game was canceled, though, why? Just because, I know there's still some people out there mad about Perfect Dark. But shit happens. Shit happens when it comes down to stuff like that. Shit does happen. It does, my friends. I mean, we don't want games to be canceled. We don't want studios to shut down. I always say that. We don't want those things to happen, though. But it happens. Looks like a white version of gas. They both sound the same. Damn. Yes. That's kind of mean, though. Damn. People who quote it, let me see. Sure. So let's see, though. But here's the thing, though, Yubei. I mean, look. Again, I'll go back to asking the same questions. Like, why are you guys so critical when it comes to the box? The other day, I saw out there they were talking about, I'm not mad. Crystal Dynamics won another $400 million to finish Perfect Dark. But something I saw out there was that everyone right now is doing a versus between exclusives and Game Pass. Why are you guys doing this versus, though? I mean, I sit here and I scratch my head and I'm like, why do you guys want to do a versus about this, though? Why do we need this versus? Why can't we have them both? Why do we have to versus them? For what? Who brought in that bright idea to have a versus between something that actually works at this very moment and take it away to turn it into a negative? Why would you want to do that, though? I mean, I sit here and I scratch my head. I'm like, bro, why? For what? What's the point of you doing that? Poor management is to blame. Yep, I agree. Poor management is to blame. But when it comes down to management, though, it's everyone in the studio. And everyone at Xbox, we got to blame too. Because, listen, everybody was blamed for that shutdown, though. It's Matt Booty, Phil, all of them, because they didn't take care of that game. They should have been more on top of it and be like, okay, shit. We have, because look, out of those, what was it, those 4 games announced, right? We had like 4 or 5 games announced when it was in 2020 or some games, right? That was announced during that time, though. Damn, I mean, 3MS like they're an endless stream of money, the AFA, the FO. But it's basically, it's a management problem right over there that happened, though. And now it seems like, Ash is making it easier with the workflow and everything. Let's see what's going to end up, though, when it comes down to, to releasing the games and getting those games out there. But again, like I said, I asked the same question, though. Why do they always be so critical with Xbox, though? Like, why? Like I always say, you guys are Xbox channels. Why don't you be critical against PlayStation? I mean, if I had to be critical on both, I'd be critical on both. I don't care. Because when Xbox makes the boo-boos, I go ahead and tackle them down because of it. But at the end of the day, though, right? I don't go out there and put information that's just not like available. Like, for example, let me say that Fable's canceled. Stuff like that. I would like to see Coalition pick up Perfect Dark after they finish Gears. That could be a nice thing, though. They actually did that. Paradise should have been canceled even earlier. Poor management. Okay. Yeah, that's what I asked for, and then use this article. Ah, man. But it's like they want to win with this. That's something I understand, though. They always want to have that win, though. Sometimes when there's rumors, and that is because it's in the works, though. But yeah, bro, I'll tell you, but you can't go out there and put a rumor on a dot like this to affect a company that's been with you. Because look, I always say this, though. You can have all the loyalty in the world, right? Like, these guys probably get codes from the companies. This guys can probably get this, get that. But at the end of the day, though, putting a misinformation out there by saying like Fable has been canceled, yo, you gotta have proof on that. Look, what I've been hearing is that behind the scenes that no one's hinted at one versus exclusives. Seems MS is the one hinting at day one exclusives. Now, Judas Roars, the thing is, even though they're hinting on it, you cannot throw that opinion out there because at the end of the day, though, everybody's going to have a difference of opinion. Now, we're going to have a problem here. If whichever one they decide upon, we're going to have a major problem. Because if they pull games from Game Pass, right? If they think they start doing that, though, a lot of people are going to be pissed. But like, what the hell happened? You know, I use the service for this and stuff like that. And exclusives, though, a lot of people want exclusives to be back. But here comes the problem, though. And I ask this again. How many people are going to pick up these exclusives? It's so important. Yeah, I understand exclusives are important, but okay, let's say we take the exclusives out of Game Pass. How much of it is going to sell? How much? And will it cover the budget of the price it took you all to build that exclusive? That's the problem, though. Now, what we can do is this. Instead of having this versus going on out there, why don't we do it both? I don't care as long as they look up shit from PS. MS needs to play hardball if they care about the hardware. Gogopo, the reason why the hardware is not selling is because they don't market it enough and they're not out there as much as PlayStation is. That's the reason why the hardware is not selling. Period. How do we know this? From reports from Mexico and Brazil? They're literally screaming out their lungs saying, Xbox, we need more of your presence here. It's true. Gogopo, that is true. They're screaming, we need more of the presence over here. If you guys are not getting it, though. There's a lot of people with stacked Game Pass subs for a year or two. We're going to be very pissed if that happens. If they stacked on the belief in advertising, and they would be exactly. See what I mean? It's because of the perception of Xbox's weaker their games going to PS. That's not true, Google. That's not true. The last 2 years, sales dropped right after the indie news. Oh, they're sticking to that? Look, Paul, I can show it to you right here. No joke. Here, I'll show it to you right here. And this is a subject that people are not bringing it up, though. They're not going to bring it up because, you know, they want their exclusives to come back. But I always say this. The major problem with these guys is they're not having presence, my friend. Here you go. I'm going to read this loud and clear. Xbox is not entirely abandoning these markets, but its physical console presence has drastically shrunk in Latin America. Microsoft shifted its focus heavily toward the cloud and digital service, sparking backlash and other massive Game Pass Ultimate price tags and causing Xbox hardware to disappear from many physical store shelves. Brazil, the physical presence of the brand has collapsed, and they were big in Brazil. Main consoles incredibly difficult to find in local stores. Sales halt. Microsoft had reduced shipments of the Xbox Series X and focused more on cloud gaming mobile. Game Pass cost, right? Let's see though. Game Pass cost, the doubling of Game Pass Ultimate prices reaching nearly $119 per 90 sparked severe community backlash. Community push. The Brazilian Xbox fan base, once incredible loyal, Loyo, has been petitioning Microsoft FIFA for a stronger local market presence and more official console sales. Historically, here you go. I repeat, historically, one of Xbox's global strongholds, this is Mexico. The region is facing similar hardware droughts, console shortages. Xbox Series X and S has become incredibly scarce across major Mexican retailers, leading many players to rely on the gray markets. Wider shift, the decline mirrors a broader global trend where the Xbox console revenue and unit shipments have plummeted worldwide. For tips, and this is true though. See what I mean? They lost two big things. And if you're gonna lose about these big things, right, you got a problem though. Louis, that's about the exclusives. Ask AI if making the games to go to PS is a factor. Now that's a different thing though, Google Poll. But here's the thing though, Google, and you need to understand this, and I talked about this several times on this show. Look, the other day Matt Piscatella put something out there, which was kind of interesting. 40% of people go out there and buy this console for exclusives. But here comes but again, let's do this. Let's go to the deduction about this though. You got 40% of people that buy these consoles for the exclusives though, but will they buy all the exclusives the console's gonna throw out there? No, they will not. So they're gonna buy that one game they like or two, and then keep on buying the rest though. AI says it's a factor, but don't count on AI being true. It just tells you what you asked for it. No, but the thing is, Google Poll, this is not I just put it on Google right here just to let you know. But this is what I've seen and heard from a lot of people out there on Twitter X talking about, hey, we don't see the presence. And this conversation came out when Asha became CEO. They were literally saying, hey, Asha, you lost Mexico. Hey, Asha, you lost Brazil. Where you guys at? If you had to choose, what would you choose? You know what I'd choose if I was for me at this very moment? To be honest though, I want more presence in marketing. That's what I want. As a fanboy, I want more marketing and presence. Because look, and here comes the question though. Okay, we get the exclusives back. We get all this stuff in here. But if we get all this and the console doesn't market itself, where are we going with this? Google Poll is true though. Here, I'll show you another one here. Let me show you this one. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'll show you this. Here, I'm gonna show you something. Watch this. Let me see if I can find it though. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. I know they still have that promotion though. But I'll show you this much though. I think they took it out of promotion, but I remember. Yeah, now it's in error. They probably took it off. They probably took it off of promotion though. But here, I'll show you this right here. And this is from, oh, this is EC. Sorry about that. No. Cinco, República Dominicana. Let me see if I can find it though. If I can find it, I can show you this. Nope, they don't have it anymore. I guess took it out of promotion, but here, for example, the biggest mobile carrier and home carrier and internet carrier, they literally had what's it called? They had a PS5 deal that you can buy a PS5 from them and pay it in some prices. I'm like, why don't you guys have an Xbox on it? No. They did not market enough, my friend. They didn't market enough. Because look, Uncle Paul, we have a problem, and this is what I keep on saying though. PlayStation has exclusives, right? They have exclusives. They're even having third-party exclusives. And look what's happening on the third-party exclusives. And no joke. What happened to Square with the third-party exclusives? They left because they're not selling. They said, goodbye, PlayStation. We're not going to put any more games exclusive. Look at Settle Blade. Settle Blade gave PlayStation. Those developers gave PlayStation that game, and then they put it on PC. And now for this one, they're deciding to expand and throw it everywhere, right? So if you take a look at some stuff out there, you're like, okay, why has the third party shifted from the exclusive conversation before? Like, okay, we're putting this game on here. Now they have shifted and put games pretty much everywhere because they need the cash, though. And Square recovered from almost being dead because they were doing the exclusive route with PlayStation. So the question is, do exclusives work? Are people going to pick this up? The gaming revenue in DR last year was only 48.07 million. Xbox isn't going with that. Oh, it's not going with that. Oh, so eBay, now you're dissing DR? Damn you, eBay. What's wrong? We have the same hair as the guy as the $1 bill. Damn. If you tell me if FFH6, Halo, ES6, and Fallout are hard exclusive, that wouldn't sell the Xbox. But here's what's funny though, Go Paul. The other day, Sony came out and literally said this. From their mouths, my friend, they literally said this. They're now the third-party box, believe it or not. And if they're calling themselves the third-party box, it's because the third party is what actually sells their console. George Washington, damn. Now they're calling me George. See what I mean now? Man, now they're calling me the $1 bill. Man, things I gotta deal with this with chat right here. Things I gotta deal with chat. Picking on me like this. Man, what's up with that? Now, where the heck is Joey though? Joey's supposed to be showing up, man. Joey's being late. I'm gonna kick Joey right here on the curb though. I never said, Gogo that exclusives are not a factor, though. I never said that, Gogo I never said that they're not a factor. But I can have the exclusive if the box is not being anywhere. What am I gonna do with exclusive if the box is not everywhere, my friend? That's the big problem we have right here. It doesn't have presence. It doesn't have market. It's literally, it needs to have presence, and then all that stuff you talk about. Then it can be all important. But the thing is, 40% of people will probably buy the box for its exclusive. But the other 60, the big factor, right? The big factor, that is that 60%, the ones who buy that console to buy Call of Duty, to pay microtransactions, stuff like that, are all buying PlayStations right now. That's what they're doing. That's 60%. PlayStation already got their fanboys locked in. They do. Now they're trying to gain that 60%. And that's that 60% that's the hard one to come by to. If you don't show yourself out there, you're not going to get them. But, Gogo, you can have a box with the games in it. And we do. Okay, I got a question. Starfield was exclusive for 4 or 5 years. How did that go? Because they did not know when Starfield was going to PlayStation. They were guessing on it, but they didn't know. But how did Starfield go? Did Starfield pulled in, and Starfield was a big game, did it actually pull in a lot of those people to jump into Xbox? There's a lot to debate on here when it comes down to this. And that is something that, you know, I sit here and I'm like, what would actually work with this box? And the main thing in Starfield is one game and it got a bad rap. Forza Horizon was there for 5 years, Go 5 years. There's so many games that were on the box that were, man, it's not a system stuff. I mean, the way that game went, I mean, even the guy from, what's his name? What's that game called? What's this guy called? There was even famous people talking about Starfield and Diablo. Xbox sales were on the decline before PS5 ports started, so keeping exclusive games makes no sense. No, listen, I'm not saying they're not important. I say they're actually a cool factor to get people to hop on the box though. But the problem is that it's only 40% of the people, as they say. It's not that much now. Now, if it was I'll tell you this much: if exclusives were still big, let's say the Matt Piscatella poll that he posted out there said that only 40% of people buy this box for exclusives, though. Then what? I mean, if that poll would have been 80% buy the box for exclusives, then the exclusive factor will be very important. But now, 60% of the guys out there buy this console to play these Call of Duty games and all this stuff. That's what they play, though. Nothing else. All these live service games. Are we going to say if Xbox got all exclusive from the last 2 years on Xbox only? I think it would not have Sony flatline, because Sony keeps on pouring those boxes everywhere. We on this again. Listen, y'all. If you don't matter the argument you're on, it's loud and proud marketing and supply don't drastically improve. None of this done with exactly. Sincere's is on the dot. And I'm gonna make a video on it, I promise you. And that video will just be about that argument. Because look, like I say though, we just need more presence. Yeah, Google Poll, but I'm not Google Poll. I'm not here to fight you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to fight you. I'm not gonna fight you on this because look, I talk about this I'm here every day and we see the numbers, I see what's happening. And the one thing I see that is missing, like look, I'm in Dominican though. Where's my Forza Horizon 6 billboard? Where's my Xbox billboard over here? You see what I mean? That's just a say. Even though you said only 48 million that's spent in gaming though. Look, we have the Street Fighter champion over here in Dominican Republic. And there's still no presence on that. Bro, come on, man. Oh, Lord. That billboard will cost more than that's not my, trust me, it will sell. Because they're going to see, like, they're going to see, wow, Xbox is here. Wow, I don't see PlayStation being here. Oh, shit, you know? Doing like that. The billboard costs more. I mean, DOT is ongoing series and license. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Yo, hey, Bald Apple, what's up, man? Good morning. The focus needs to be more gamers to Xbox and the U.S. market simple. Why didn't Xbox put Halo 3 on the PS3? It didn't make it top. It didn't make it top 8 between, Louis. Who didn't? Who didn't, Safo? Like Marvel Spider-Man games, but now Spider-Man is on. But here's the thing, though, because look, now comes the conversation where this is how it ends. You ready for this? Then explain to me how the PS5 sold without its first-party exclusives, though. That's where it ends right there. PS5 sold without exclusives this generation, chat. No joke. It did not have first-party content exclusives. It had remakes, remasters from last generation. This gen, you can literally count how many games PlayStation 5 made from the first-party studios, probably in two hands, tops. That's it. And now literally we have PlayStation saying it's a third-party box. Why did they go out there and say that though? That was something we talked about this the other day though. We read about it loud and clear here. Here you go. I'm just going to post it right here. And I love how the title started. Remember the title started? While the PS5 and PlayStations before it have some truly incredible first-party titles, they've never been Sony's strength like Nintendo. I read this loud and clear the other day though. The Switch 2 is sold on the strength of Mario and Pokemon. PS5 is all about GTA and Call of Duty. It's something the company has openly acknowledged in an interview with the game business. But here we go. Let me read this again. The Switch 2 is sold on strength of Mario and Pokemon. PS5 is all about GTA and Call of Duty. Google Poll, remember, ABK Deal told us it's never about the exclusives, though. They wanted to throw the exclusives in our hands, though. But look, this is PlayStation itself admitting that PS5 is all GTA and Call of Duty. What drove PlayStation sales was Call of Duty, my friends, because they had exclusive content. That's why they flew all over the place in ABK Deal saying, please stop this deal. Because if we do lose this, PlayStation will be... It was all about that, my friend. That was the most popular game on PlayStation, not its exclusives. And that's why, you know, when I sit here and try to debate this, right? I'm like, do you think that Xbox is missing? It's this. Boom, boom, that's all. They don't need exclusives to win. Mind sure they need to do that, and it's working now, and expose and expand on that 100%. 100%. 100%. That's what they gotta do, though. They need to push on that. They need to. I never Google poll. Look. Take it down a notch. I never said exclusives are not an important factor. I never said that. Now you ask me, and this is a personal question. This is what you asked. Let me repeat loud and clear. You asked me, Louis, what would you want from Xbox? I said marketing and presence. Then all the stuff you add up to it after that, then it will be favorable. But now, why in the blue hell would I want to focus on, oh, let me get exclusives, let me get this. But wait, where's the presence? How is that going to sell? When still to this day people say Xbox doesn't have any games. They still do. Because I'm out there on the streets though, especially in the Dominican Republic. I said, why don't you get an Xbox? Well, I heard it doesn't have any games. But what games do you play? I play GTA. But Xbox has GTA, why don't you get an Xbox? Nah, my friends are on PlayStation. It needs to have its presence. Hold on a second. Hold on. Who made this show real quick? So here's the thing though. You're bringing up Netflix though, but I do see Yellowstone on Netflix though. And Yellowstone is from Paramount. So, Rauchel, the problem is with Xbox is it needs to have more of a presence though. It needs it. It needs to have more of a presence. Not only in the United States, it needs to have it everywhere. Even Joey and I brought this up the other day. That Joey was like, man, I saw the other day an Xbox on the store here. When I didn't see it before though. Even Joey brought it up here on the show. I was like, really? That was like 2 weeks ago. And here, you know, of course, I've seen it in the store, but but people just swift up. I mean, they have yeah, but Google Poll, you're fighting, but look, but Netflix has a good marketing team, my friend. Netflix is everywhere. Netflix is such a good marketing team, it's insane. And that's basically what Xbox needs. The Xbox needs to go out there. Why did Disney Plus pull all Marvel content off Netflix once the streaming platform went live? But they still keep on putting Marvel content on Netflix, though. I mean, they put it on their thing first, and then they put it over there. They're literally putting it everywhere. Yellowstone is on Netflix, the best series out there. But Google Poll, you're fighting a battle with the 40%. The other 60% does not care if Halo's on PlayStation. Remember what happened to Gears of War? Bogo Paul, Gears of War went to PlayStation. Nobody bought it. It was such a bad sale, though. That's the thing. You're having a fanboy battle right there, my friend. And the fanboy battle, of course, is fun. It's good conversation. But at the end, though, I mean, you got the biggest game out there going. Gears of War, as they say, the biggest game, you know, from Mac, one of the biggest games, franchise titles, blah, blah, going to places, didn't buy nothing. But if they don't show themselves out there with the hardware go, they're not selling. They're not showing themselves. They don't have any presence. They're not doing anything with the hardware, though. That's what sucks. I want to see more stuff on the hardware, more than the whole exclusive talk right now. I bought it on the PlayStation because I like Gears of War. Well, that's you, Talos. You're the only one who bought it, though. I only know 2 or 3 people who bought it. So what's the point? So Gears of War, the PlayStation heard the perception of the brand and still didn't sell. So what's the point? Exactly. You do need to advertise more, 100%. That's the only problem they have. That's it. Exactly. Gears of War sold like crap. So the Doom and South of Midnight and Starfield and Hellblade didn't sell on PlayStation, though. Forza Horizon, out of all of them, Forza Horizon was the one that pretty much did an impact, though. Sea of Thieves did kind of an impact, and what's it called? Grounded did some sort of kind of an impact too, but that's it. eBay says the perception is that Gears is now a game that is on PlayStation, not Xbox. Yeah, but over here too, we didn't even look at it. Because we already played it too many times. We got tired of it. Same question I asked about the Halo remake, though. Remember when I asked if I did a poll with the chat and did the Halo remake conversation? We were beating it exactly. That's true, though. We're beating a dead horse at this point. Yeah. But that's what I want, though. That's the big thing I want from Xbox out of everything. That's the only thing I want. I want is marketing and presence. Be out there, market with fire, have a presence out there. That's all I care for right now. And then the rest, when it comes down to exclusives and Game Pass and all this stuff, trust me, all of that will make the console grow even more. But first, we need the marketing and presence. And then all that stuff. Because if we do it backwards and get all that stuff back and not do marketing and presence, then we just got a box with exclusives and it's not selling. That's the point. Minecraft was always bringing cash. What did all these games do in terms of sales across our platforms? Nothing. Of course, you need marketing, but what do you market if everything is big? Go Paul, you want me to tell you what the solution is? And I always said this on here, loud and clear. Xbox only needs to do is one thing, and they have the power to do it if they wanted to do it. Because look, from behind the scenes, the stuff right here, right? There was one thing I asked. And let me tell you something, there's a lot of good things I'm hearing behind the scenes, right? But there's one thing I asked, though. That's the only thing. And this is the one thing I asked about it. Okay, all this stuff is cool and wonderful, but what's up with Call of Duty? And they're like, what do you mean what's up with Call of Duty? Are they going to do exclusive content on the box? Because if Xbox, with that one game, they put that exclusive content for a year, 6 months, trust me, that console will sell, baby. That console will sell. Chat, be right back. Let me go get some water. Be right back. So yeah, chat. Sorry about that. I had to get some water. But like I was saying though, the only thing I asked out of the whole things I've heard, which I've heard wonderful things, cool things, fantastic things, some. The only thing I asked though, Call of Duty. What are they gonna do with it? That's the only thing I asked though. What are they gonna do? Because that's that weapon though. They have the weapon to go out there and sell these boxes. They have the weapon to market the hell out of this box. They have the weapon to get people to jump onto Xbox. And after they jump on the Xbox because of the exclusive content on there, shit, you're going to get things rolling. Nintendo's also making moves, but they have 30 million sold. That's 30 million users, yep. Because, here, look, I'll give you an example. Here's an example, right? Here's an example. So, Pokemon. Let's say Xbox came up with Pokemon, right? Let's say Xbox came up with Pokemon. Xbox had Pokemon. We all know that people would probably buy an Xbox just to play Pokemon, right? That's the weapon. And Pokemon, man, we have Pokemon on mobile. Look how many users it attracted. I mean, literally everybody was playing Pokemon Go, though, right? I use Pokemon for an example, though, right? Same thing with Minecraft. Minecraft is big. Minecraft is every fucking where. It's big. But at the end of the day, though, those are those two games that are really fucking popular. Minecraft, Pokemon. I mean, the Minecraft movie, I talked about this before, too. The Minecraft movie was, ugh. Look, literally, it goes up there with the Super Mario Bros. With Mario and Luigi, you know, with the dinosaur Yoshi, exact dinosaur, Princess Peach, and all this stuff, and Bowser, you know, just, yeah. Literally, you only see Bowser at the end turning into a monster when he's being hit by a super scope. That's it. That's literally is up there. That Minecraft movie was awful, but yet, fuck, the movie theaters was packed though for Minecraft. No joke. It was packed. So this is the thing though. Have exclusive content when it comes down to this. Why don't you have exclusive content for Call of Duty though? Get it in there though. The point is to reach the outside the hardcore base. To do that, advertising has to come first. Advertise everything that Xbox has to offer. Games, Game Pass, free cloud saves, cloud gaming, quick resume and Xbox Play Anywhere. They have plenty to market. They just need to go loud and proud with it. 100%. That's what we need. I need that. I need that fire right there. And I need them. Because like I said, though, they have the weapon to be big. Get COD on the box. Have exclusive content for 6 months or up to a year. And trust me, people will go buy the box because that's how PlayStation made its money to make its first party games. And that's how PlayStation made a ton of money when it comes down to the PS5. That's how it did though. I hate that Xbox went full multiplayer without giving ABK and Bethesda a chance to see what's like exclusive in Xbox. So they gave PlayStation Halo, Gears, and Forza in the 25th anniversary. Now here comes another question though, One Punch Jedi. We're right now living in a time though that we have a problem. And I've said this before. People are not buying enough the exclusives. And these exclusives are over the budget, tons of money. And they need to be putting it elsewhere for people to pick up in order to cover some of the expenses of these exclusives. Because the problem is we gamers have expanded. And I keep on saying this because it's true. We got PC, a growing big ass market. PC market just keeps on growing each and every year. We have also handhelds that are growing little by little, and they're growing, that are going to get massive pretty soon because a lot of people these days are more on the go than staying at home. And that's the truth though. And now we have, like I said, we have a cell phone, which is also a problem. We have TikTok, we have all this stuff, right? Exactly. Look at this, who's done to Sony, they're dying. That's another one too. Sony, because look, I'll say this loud and clear, and I said this before, with 93 million consoles, with exclusives, with all the stuff they have, they get TCO of 51%. Their, what else is going on with them? Their car project shut down. They shut down the studio. Blue Point died. And it just keeps on going further. Look at Saros. Saros just dead on his tracks, though. you think putting Fable, Forza Horizon 6 E-Day, but wait, since when E-Day was announced for PlayStation though? So I would take E-Day out of that context. Wouldn't damage your brand to sell hardware, laugh out because people assume it's all coming to PS? Google, look. Again, exclusives can be important, but if you don't go out there and give marketing presence, then exclusives won't be nothing. It will just be a box with exclusives. That's it. Sarban said the biggest leap in gaming, maybe it's more than a service that offers more games. It could be more. I don't know, Google Poll. I don't know. I think it won't, because right now, if Sony is pulling away from PC, right, as they said, supposedly is pulling away from PC, as they said, I think that Ash is going to sit there. Not only that, I think Ash is going to, what's it called, to, it's not going to be that much of Kumbaya, though. But again, we'll come back to it. So, Google Poll, I got a question for you. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to have exclusives, or do you prefer to have the exclusives plus day one pass, or exclusives or Game Pass day one? What do you prefer? Exclusives or day one games? What do you prefer? Because that's what this debate brought about, though. Because people are talking about this to get rid of one thing to bring up the other. And what I say is, why can't we have them both together? In order for having both together, you got to really, as Sincere has been saying for the past couple minutes, and I've been saying it too, you got to really market and have presence out there. But if you don't have it, we're done. WGG, I don't get why people think Sony's doing horrible. PlayStation isn't doing that bad. Still buying a PS6. It's doing horrible because right now it looks like PlayStation does not have a north, though. They're still getting organized for the shutdown, though. Game Pass for sure, but that's not going to happen unless MS doesn't care about gaming anymore. But at the end of the day, though, it's a trend that I'm seeing, though. And I keep on bringing it up. I know that exclusives are important, but are they selling, though? Are they a title as popular? Because, look, I just read you all the article, though. And this is literally, this came from Sony itself. This was the thing that was, when was it? I think I talked about it on May 12th. I think I talked about it May 13th about this. About this article. It was a couple weeks ago. They literally said here, PS5 is all about GTA and Call of Duty. So literally they're telling you to your faces, this box is not about exclusives. This box sells because of GTA and Call of Duty. They're telling it to you right there. And I even said that day loud and clear, what Asha should do right here is, hey, let's get some exclusive content on Xbox to get these guys to jump over here. Put Call of Duty everywhere, but let's get this over here. It can have exclusive, but it's not the powerhouse, my friend. It's not. Their powerhouse are GTA and Call of Duty. Loud and clear. Grumpy Shaman with a $5 super. He says, COVID, rent crisis, tariffs, war have made the prices of the consoles too high for people to buy one. Imagine buy 2 consoles plus games online subscription. Yep, that's another one too, though. Price hikes. Oof. Holy smokes, price hikes. Ha ha. Oh, man. Well, if you want the truth, exclusives aren't selling it. That's what I said, though. They're not selling as much, though. Because, look, okay, I'm attracted to the box because of exclusives. Now, am I going to buy every exclusive the box throws out there? No. Look at me. I did not. I played Avowed. I gave it a shot, and it was just not my game. I got to give it another go, but it was just not my game, and I don't know if it's going to be my game. That's how it is. There's some games I just won't play and won't like. And that's how a lot of people feel. It's like people about GTA 6. Some people do not like GTA. They just don't. So, Louis, would you think E-Day to be exclusive, or you think it needs the PS sales? That's all in Asha, my friend. I mean, I can't judge what the company needs to do because look, right now, Google Poll, like I said, we're living in a situation that, I see where they're weak at, because this is what I say though. You guys have the content. You guys have the service. Guys have the best customer service, the best security, the best everything. But if you guys don't go out there and scream your lungs out and show your presence and have power out there, then what are we gonna have? We're gonna have a box full of games, right? That people are not gonna pick up because it's just not a popular box. We need to get the box to be popular in order for people to jump in. We need it to be popular because that funny thing is, Xbox has been negative news for the last 15 years. And we've been talking positive about it. But the thing is, we need more positive on Xbox itself to go out there and show more positive like they've been doing in the last 2 or 3 months. If you got gamed on Xbox the entire gen, you got free PC games with Xbox Play Anywhere. Yep, and Smart Delivery also offer free upgrades to existing games. Like that's what I mean though. And still, Xbox is still 30 million consoles. You got all this beautiful stuff on here that people don't look at. That. How do you market though? You tell me. How do you market though? Whoa. How do you market though? It's simple. They have the bomb to market right there. They have the games to market. And all they need is this one game to market the hell out of that box, and that is COD. Put COD on the box. Put exclusive content for a year in there, and you'll see how that shift is going to happen. Woo! Woo! That's a different story though, my friend. Game Pass makes 5 billion plus yearly. They don't have to count the game sales. Regarding the bottom line is all that matters are in any corporation. People keep saying market better and have no idea what. It's simple. All you need is Call of Duty. Minecraft. Get the popular characters. Right now you have a Fortnite deal. Get Fortnite on the box. Get these kids to look at the box and be like, oh, look, Fortnite's on the box. Oh, look, Call of Duty's on the box. Oh, look, let me go grab this box. And exclusive year content for a year? Oh, man. Woo. I mean, just with those ones, you'll be selling like hotcakes. And then the rest, you can add exclusives to it. You can add the Game Pass to it and all that shit. And now the rest is just going to grow by itself. But you need to get that 60% to come jump over here too in order to play these games. But Google Poll, the thing is, Google Poll, I get you want exclusives to be back, and I'm not saying I do not want exclusives to be back. You asked me, what would I want from the box? And I told you, I want market and presence. That's all I want. Nothing else, Google Poll. Nothing else. Nothing else. And then the rest, if they add exclusives, cool. I'll be happy they add exclusives. I'll be like, oh, exclusives are back. Okay, cool. But that's it. Let them add. But to sell hardware, they need it to matter again. Simple. Put Call of Duty on the box and have exclusive content for a year. You'll see how that thing will sell. And then you come back to him and be like, wow, Louis was right. I don't know where Joey is, though. I've been waiting for his, but I even wrote to him today. He hasn't written to me. I don't know where he's at, though. And it sucks, though. So let me see. Chill Walker sent me something from Xbox.com. Let's see what this is about. Below this, a country where Xbox hardware go to service-supported regions: Australia, Belgium, Bosnia, Georgia, Germany, Kuwait, Malaysia, Oman, Panama, Sweden, United States. That's regions, though. Don't get it. Put these faces on the box and they will sell consoles. Those Xbox gamers that traded in for PS games less and received less for having done that. Exactly. Game less. Let me see. In comparison to medium and long term, what would you choose a PS though? Louis, you didn't answer my question. Would you lock E-Day or new Halo? Again, I did answer and I said, I don't know. That all depends on Asha, what she wants to do, my friend. I don't know what they're going to do with that. All depends on them. If Asha decides to lock up E-Day, awesome. That's the truth, though. I hope she does, too. And or the new Halo, though. But again, why would I want... You want me to be honest, though? I don't care for new Halo, though. I don't care for it. It's gonna be a rinse and repeat of a game that I can go right now and replay right now in the MCC collection though. I'm being as honest as I can be though. But I get the idea though. You want it to be locked up, cool, then I hope they can lock it up. But I don't know what's gonna happen though. They probably will. I hope they do too. Since here says COD can't have exclusive content for the Xbox yet, Louis, due to the content and release parity clause for the MS signed for 10 years. If I was them, I did it. And face the CMA and FTC all the way. That's what I do. But to be fair, say only Nintendo's doing well in the exclusive department. It depends though. Because the thing with Nintendo is that Nintendo played it smart. They didn't go over the budget when it comes down to the exclusives though. So they sell 5 million copies, already covered the cost and marketing and everything. Their games cost less to make probably. Way more less than what Xbox and PlayStation do though. Whew. Oh man. But again, it all depends on what Asha's going to do. And to be honest though, we have not heard that E-Day was going to go to PlayStation 5. That's just things that are thrown out there though. I look up Halo, Gears, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and Fable. Let's see what she does, though. I mean, we're still 2 months in, 3 months in with she grab position right now. Let's see how it goes, though. Let's see what she does and what she decides to do. Because like I said, though, I'm not going to throw the stuff I've heard in the back, but I've heard some good stuff. I heard some bad stuff. And last but not least, like I said, the question I asked was, what are they going to do with Call of Duty? Because with Call of Duty, though, they should do something about it. Now that is something that kind of scares me. I think Asha will slowly eliminate Game Pass, and if she does that, Ralph Taylor... Because right now, it's like what I said, and I said it before on Friday. You cannot make one thing positive and turn the other one negative. Right now, we need both of them to be positive. Because literally, you're doing the same thing right now. If you get rid of putting your games on PlayStation, okay, that'll be a positive for a lot of people on here, right? That'll be a lot of positive for a lot of people that are going to be having about it, but... what happens to the Game Pass people over here? What do you think that's going to be? That's going to be a negative, and it's going to be, we're back into the negative and positive situation again. And we do not need this negative and positive being like this, because right now we got Game Pass Day 1 right here, but exclusives are on the bottom. Now what we need to do is balance this. That's what we need right now, a balance. We need both of them to do well, both of them to go out there and do what they got to do. I don't think they will get rid of Game Pass. I don't think they will either, but that's the thing that people are pretty much throwing out there, and it's making people mad. You do not want to make people mad right now. What you need to is always stay on the positive news and keep on throwing positives out there to get people attracted to this box. And that's my key point. Balance these two suckers, but the main key after you balance this, right? Even though you can have them balance this, you got to have market and presence for these two to go out there and grow and be big. That don't mean that MS doesn't care about gaming anymore, but you got these guys out there ranting about it, saying, these YouTubers, which I've seen out there, saying that, hey, I prefer exclusives to having Game Pass Day 1. I'm like, wow, really? But because, look, here comes another one Google pull that people don't think about. And this is why I always fight on this. What happens if the next couple of months this software goes up to 80 or 90? What are we going to do? That's $80 for a video game, 90 bucks? You'll think, before you pull that trigger to buy that game, you're going to think about it. You'll be like, shit. And right now, subs are growing. And that's something that keeps on growing because people literally are not buying games as much. If they can have both, it's a win, period. But in order to have both those titles, you got to have that marketing and that presence first. So people can go over there and talk about it. Because right now, what we're seeing out there is we're seeing the Nibs, the Hunters, the Zubitex, these 4 dudes out there saying, oh, you know, okay, oh, console warring, right? That's what we see. But the 60% out there don't care about this shit. They don't care about this exclusive stuff. Go ask a kid now if he knows who Phil Spencer is, if he knows Sarah Bond, say, who that? I mean, back in the day, I did not even know who was the guys in Nintendo or Mario. I just knew that Nintendo was Mario and Sonic was Zelda. That's all, I mean, Sonic was Sega, sorry. That's all I knew, period. I did not know who the heck these dudes were until I got older. That's how it is. And got into the topic of conversation. But these kids nowadays, and a lot of these adults though, a lot, and I do mean a lot though, you sit there and you talk, because I've had this conversation with a lot of these adults. I remember when the Harley Club, when I sit there and I know guys that play video games, I ask them, what do you play? Oh, I'm playing GTA on what? On PS5. Don't you play Spider-Man, nothing like that? No, I don't care about those games. So you bought a PS5 just to play GTA? I said, yeah. Sometimes, you know, I get home, and if I'm not that tired, I'll play games with my friends and have fun, but blow up stuff and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. Or build my empire, buy cars, and do all this shit. That's all they care about. And I've asked several people the same question, or the FIFA guys. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. The FIFA dudes? Ho, 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 ho. No wonder PlayStation marketed themselves over there on football stadiums. Huh. I hope Microsoft isn't going anywhere. Microsoft is a multi-billion-dollar company. About time will tell. Microsoft and X again making consoles in the near future. Do you believe first party will remain at $70 to consider returns and dev budgets continue to be as high as they currently are? That's the part that scares me, sinceres. I do not think that the 70 is going to hold up a lot. I think we're going to have more expensive games. It's getting to that point, though. It's scary. Remember last year, Microsoft teased to have, what's this game called? Outer Worlds be at $80. Holy shit. Holy shit. I'd be pissed if Game Pass went away, but it'd still be on Xbox. I bet I'd still be on Xbox, yeah. I'll still be on Xbox no matter what, but it will suck though. I'll go 100% retro before I go to PS, yeah. I've heard they're giving a COD a year to sell and dropping into Game Pass the following year. That's what you think though, Safo? Do you think PlayStation is waiting to see what Grand Theft Auto 6 is priced before they give the price of Wolverine? I do think that, bro boy. I do think that. In my heart, I do believe that. I think Sony's being really sketchy with that one. Because look, they need money. They're desperate for money. They need money, my friends. They do need it. They need that money urgently. Because for what it seems, though, you see them canceling all these projects and doing all this shit. Oh, man. Sony's marketing give the illusion that games like GTA is exclusive and plays better on PlayStation. I mean, look at 007 Lite. 007 Lite, even my best friend even asked me a question the other day. No joke, my best friend, he's been on Xbox. He was the one who told me jump on Xbox, Lou. He got me into Xbox, right? He was the one who told me to jump into Xbox, right? And that's why I literally 100% fell off with the brand. I was already on Xbox, but 360 was the one thing that got me in there, though. I'll get to that, Grumpy Shaman. But he literally was saying, yeah, I'm thinking about getting a PS5 Pro. I was like, for what? To play games that I'm like, bro, listen, don't. And I said, you want my honest opinion, though? I didn't get it because it didn't fall for that shit. Not only that, there are games, even though they say it plays better, but once you get the game, sometimes they got to get rid of the pisser tech because it's not working. So it's still not 100%, so don't fall for that stuff. And now he decided to get away from it because, you know, he's reading all about the PSN hacking accounts and does not want to lose his account. I said, oh, man. So Grumpy Shaman with the $5 super. He says, Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, Steam are saying all it's hard to find components for these consoles. So all these exclusive talk makes no sense for a 6-year-old box. It don't make sense. Yeah, Xbox is one of the most self-depreciating fan base in existence. They will make up rumors out of nothing, yet something to be afraid of, upset about. That's the only thing that really I asked about earlier. Why do they always do this? Why do they want to talk bad about the brand? Is it for views? Is it for something? I'm like, what the hell, though? What the hell? Things are going up, and that is unreasonable to think gaming won't go up. Isn't only logical to understand why gaming has gone up, because things have been going up. And that's the part where it gets me. Like, we want or either exclusives or day one games on Game Pass. I mean, that was thrown out there, and I said, why can't we have both? But in order to have both, in order for both of them to work, we need the marketing and the presence. That's the number one key for all this stuff to work. But right now, everybody's like, yeah, get exclusives back and screw Game Pass. I'm like, okay, go for it. But when the games start to come up to $80 to $90 for a game, are you going to buy it? Because you better back your fucking word up with it. And I know you won't. Because the ones who are saying it and talking about it get these codes. But I don't get codes. Broboy doesn't get codes. Talos, do you get codes? Chat. 42 people in the chat. Do y'all get free codes from Xbox? No. That's when you all say it. But if you had to pay for it, yeah, go. Go pay 80 and 90. Nope. See, it's the truth though. We're not getting codes for these games. So of course, if I would have gotten codes, I would have said, yeah, get rid of Game Pass. But I don't get nothing. You guys are secured, but I'm not. No one should get codes, but I agree with you there, Yubei. I agree 100%. No one gets codes. Should buy your game. I agree with that. And that's something that really affects though. Because you got a lot of people doing content creators. And man, listen, I know quite a few that get these codes. They share accounts, and that's a game that's less people gonna buy. I agree with we can have both. I buy all first-party games with Game Pass. Phil said they would like to buy. They would like you to buy. Imagine not having Game Pass and you boot up your system to no games on it. Shit. Because that's the biggest privilege with Game Pass, and that's what I mean. Though, why would you want to get rid of something that's positive? Because notice this, chat. Out of all things the 20 things from the player's voice, we have not heard no Game Pass mentioned, right? But they've mentioned exclusives though, so why would you want to get rid of Game Pass, which has been a positive side of things, to get this negative one, which is exclusives up? Come on, man. We don't need that though. All Xbox news-based rumors and Destiny 2 is being sunset, and no one is complaining about that. Oh, yes, they are, Safo. Yes, they are, because a lot of people decided to make a, what's it called? They were out there signing to get Destiny 3 on the way, though. They're doing it. No codes, I don't care if I'm not a YouTuber to get codes. That's why they're saying it, though. That gets me mad. A lot of these guys get codes, so I'm not complaining for me to get codes, because trust me. Oh my God. I sit here and I look at things that, you know, people that get codes by, they got to review all these games. They don't have time for it. I mean, for the rest of the day, I got work, I got family, I got stuff I got to do, though. Imagine me, you know, I have to sit here and play all these games and do, oh my God. I have to be like 100% working on this all day. But I don't, because I have a job. Now, if I was like 100% into content and all that stuff and I make money off 100% of the content, though, then that's a different story, though. Louis, aren't you like a billionaire? You can't just buy the games? Oh, go Paul. These days, you know what I've learned these days how to buy games, though? Simple. I just wait for sales. If I want to buy a game, I wait for a sale. Now, if I really like the game, though, I'll pick it up. But I'll just wait for sales nowadays. I'm not really... This is per the console brand. Going back to the 360 glory days are gone. If it's a new market, new gaming habits. Exactly. It's working now, laugh out loud, without exclusives. The only thing Xbox needs to figure out is to repair the console brand. Going back to the 360 glory days are gone. It's a new market, new gaming habits, 100%. The OG Xbox had exclusives. Some didn't sell at the time, and they were only on the Xbox. But Talos, the thing is, Talos, here's the thing, though. And I know who to blame for this, and that is PlayStation. Because PlayStation listen, but they're really good at this, though. No joke. You cannot deny PlayStation's PR. They have such a good PR, it's insane, though. In 2018, they weaponized the word exclusives. And us, since 2023 and up, we've been talking about exclusives like, you know, and people are like, yeah, they're important. But funny thing is, they are so important, right? PlayStation came out and said this again. I'll read this loud and clear. PS5 is all about what now? That's it. That's what it's all about. And so we still believe that exclusives like are the most important things. And if school and again, I'll ask the same questions though. This is why you gotta love how things are. If exclusives were so important, why did PlayStation start porting their games to PC? Have that one in your head. Have that one in your head, though. Why did they start putting their games on PC, though? And yet, with porting their games on PC, their console sold 93 million, though. Insane, huh? Or shit. Huh. These Xbox content creators think that getting rid of Game Pass for some imaginary war is a flex. For us, that life outside the states of Game Pass is lifeline. You want to game in your Xbox ecosystem. Exactly. Once we go completely digital, I expect games to be 80, a very minimum for its digital. Games digital is a lifesaver. Man, I'm telling you, it's going to get expensive, though. If Fortnite Crew is adding Disney Plus to their sub, what do you think this Game Pass Ultimate will get as well? We're going to get... Oh, nice. I'm not even sub to that shit, so I don't care for that, though. Exclusives only work if you're 100% exclusive. No PC ports either. Must be like Nintendo. There you go. And PlayStation shoved their games to PC, though. So, you know, that's why I sat here and I always ask that question, though. Exclusives. Do they sell the console? Yeah, they can help boost the console, though. But is it the number one thing that sells the console? Only on Nintendo, though, because of PlayStation. It hasn't been the number one thing for the last 5 years, though. Now they decided to make a number one thing. Supposedly they decided to make a number one thing. But still, They can, and here's the funny part. They can have all the exclusive content they want on their box though. But at that price for that box, 5-year-old tech, 6-year-old tech, good luck. Xbox gamers allow these ponies to get in their heads and the Xbox brand is dying, and that is complete opposite. Multi-platform revenue is not the full strategy. It's not the FOMO nobody wants to miss out. Diego, PlayStation 5 is still more expensive than the Series X, surprisingly. Shit, that PlayStation 5 is expensive though. Damn. Ooh, they got real greedy with that one though. Them as the Sony and Microsoft is no different. But again, I gotta say though, the PR on Sony though is real smart, because look what they said the other day, and I made fun of it. But what happened to the exclusive box though? Because I thought PlayStation was the king of exclusives, was the king of first-party content. What happened to all that? And all y'all saying that the PS5 is all about GTA and Call of Duty. What happened here? I thought y'all were keen at this, but no, they're not. That's what the ABK deal taught us. But you know, yeah, let's go ahead and let's say, and let's go out there and say, hey, yo, why don't we kill Xbox, right? Xbox Game Pass, and let's get exclusives back. Oh yeah, go for it. Good luck. Piss off the people again, because I don't understand why you want to make people mad out there. Another problem with Sony's ditching PCs, their exclusive games must sell like crazy. Ooh, I don't know if they do though. Shit. Microsoft doesn't care what you game as long as you buy their product. Like if I can say, if you own a PlayStation, basically an Xbox, you buy Halo Remaster and Forza. That's what, and that's the funny thing though. Do these companies make money from talking? From fanboys? No, they don't make money from fanboys. I'm sorry. Fanboys, listen, I know several people out there who champion exclusives. But when you go look at their gamer tag, no joke, you go look at their gamer tag, they're not playing them. Then why would you champion exclusives though, if you're not playing these games? Talo says, what's so special about GTA? I can tell you what's special about GTA. Yeah. Well, look, GTA, besides being a great open world game, it's actually the king of open worlds, no denying on that. There's so much to do in those games, it's insane. Like if you follow the NPCs or do several things, there's things that you discover each and every day in GTA. GTA is such a big game that like I said, it's just so much to do that you don't get tired of it. You just don't. I mean, the other day, I finished Red Dead Redemption during the pandemic, Red Dead Redemption 2. And I think it was 24 or 23. I decided to go back and play it because I saw a lot of videos of stuff I didn't do on Red Dead Redemption. I decided to do it too. Jago66, people need to understand Microsoft is not Sony. Once it sinks in, I think that some will have a better understanding as they to why they're totally different corporations, functionality, and goals. But that's the thing though. I'm not challenging you, Verge Brizzo. I'm just saying there's a lot of people out there who do that though. But with GTA though, there's just so much stuff you can do, and it's such an incredible. They just keep on adding content. It's a never-ending content. I mean, you just look at a dog and follow the dog where it goes. You're like, wow, this dog has got. It's like, I remember I saw this video from GTA 5. Somebody said if you follow the police car with the prisoners, you see them where they take them. They literally take the prisoners to a place and then they shoot them, and you see the prisoners like lying dead on the ground. You're like, what the hell? You know? That's why being a fanboy makes no sense. These companies do what's best for them. And right now, what is best for them is, right now, at this very moment, if I was Xbox though, what is best for you? FFTC, FCMA, fucking put exclusive content on Call of Duty for a year, and you'll see how that box is going to sell like crazy. Which have more single player DLCs like The Lost and The Damned and Ball Out with, yep, remember that? I remember that one, yep. The Tony one, yep. Yeah, they did a really good job with that though. MS is weird enough since their Xboxes have dropped hard the last 2 years. Okay. You know what happened to MS this year, Google Poll? Thing was they released a Call of Duty that was like Infinite Wars. That was the problem. Like Infinite Warfare. And Infinite Warfare literally dropped down massively. And not only that, they also pushed the AI thing. They forgot about looking at the users. And now since... Thank you, Talos. Out of all things, thank you, Talos. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. And since they lost some Windows users and now Linux is starting to get little by little popular, now they decided to focus on customer service and now they're trying to get things, you know, to track to the box. Hey, Marcus Lee Blank, good morning. How you doing, man? Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, what's up, what's up? What's up, what's cooking? We were talking about the whole Xbox. I was going to turn off the AC. The Xbox thing, though. Situation that goes out there. I must enjoy games. I'm a gamer. I enjoy play Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. I wish these console wars can stop with the stupid enjoy gaming. There's a lot of factors. PS lost console sales too. Even Switch 2 sales are slowing down. Well, Switch 2 sales are going down because of the RAM crisis, though. And PlayStation slowed down its sales because, as they remember what they say, they bought enough RAM. Psh, my ass, they bought enough RAM. Look at them now. Thing is that PlayStation's got a good distribution. That's why it sells, though. Good distribution, good, you know, yeah. I stopped being a fanboy when the console stopped being unique. Why do I need multiple consoles now versus the Sega, Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation? But that's the funny part, Malcolm Lax. Like nowadays, look, it's like what I say though. For example, why do I need a PS5? I'm already on the Xbox ecosystem. I do not need a PS5. I have a PS5 and I don't need it. Like for PS6 though, I don't need it either. I think the price has slowed down. Switch 2 is like $500, $550 now. Some people, that's too much. Some people, that's too much. But they will pick up later on, man. I'm not worried about that. They will pick up later on. They will pick up later on. You don't need it. Exactly. Because it's like what I always say, and I keep on telling people this, and this is the truth, though, and this is why we need marketing. I need the marketing and the presence, though. But with Xbox, though, buy the game once. I can play it on console and PC. With Xbox, I can play on any screen I want. With Xbox, though, I have everything I need. I also have the cross saves. I can literally buy a handheld right now, play a game, go to my office, and grab the handheld and play games while I'm at the office. Continue on with the game right there at the office and enjoy my game right there. That's something that I don't do with PlayStation unless if you have a portal. That's a different story, though. It's crazy about Xbox celebrating 25 and these guys are fighting over his... That is true, Grumpy Shaman. Never thought about that one, though. That is so true. That is so true. They're so focused on this argument that they're fighting about this. Some people will be worried about having food in the fridges in case something goes down and no one will be buying console games. Yep. Sony can't even protect their own employees from being hacked. And don't do PlayStation players remember, if you have a thought to buy a PlayStation. Louis, could you see a PC taking over consoles in the future? Here's the funny part. It has taken over, though. It has taken over, though. It has taken over. PC has taken over consoles, though. It has. PC is key when it comes down to gaming. And a lot of people have moved up to PC. It's true. Believe it or not. You know how I know this? Here. Let's do a poll. Watch this. Hold on, let me put this on. Watch this. And this is just for this, though. And probably we'll get yes, no's. So watch this. I'm gonna put this poll. Oh, no, oh. Oh shoot, now I gotta add one more. No, what am I gonna add here? I just added this for the heck of it, but yeah, here's a poll. Alright. Just vote. You'll see. And little by little, like, let's see who owns one. That's little by little, that's how you know. I'm debating if I should go to completely PC. Oh, you're debating if you go completely PC? I mean, there you go. That's 2. We're getting 3 votes. No? Alright, let's go. Let's see who wins this one, though. One of my nephews was so excited to play Subnautica 2. More excited for the game than a ton of other new games. Yeah, that's how it is, though. Xbox is going to not sell a bunch of consoles, and gamers forget you still have a cloud at PC as an alternative. And I've been quite a few posts from someone from Japan who was playing Forza Horizon 6 on xCloud. So, you're saying that you're debating on PC, though. I'm gonna give you some advice to that, though. Because right now with the RAM, the price it is, if I was you and you do not own a PC gaming yet, my advice is wait for the Helix. Wait for the Helix to see what the Helix brings to the table, though. If the Helix brings something good to the table, then you're good. You know, then you don't have to build yourself a PC. Because the thing is, right now you sit there and you're like, okay, let me buy the motherboard, let me buy the SSDs, let me buy the GPU, the GPU, the CPU, and all this stuff. You're just on that. You're gonna spend $2,500 just on that. Just period right there on that. $2,500 you're gonna spend that the tops most. And if you add the SSD though, and oh, I forgot the RAM. If you add the RAM, that's almost $3,000 though. So it all depends though. If I want a good PC gaming experience, you know, yeah, but you can get a laptop for that already. But if you're gonna build a PC, it's gonna be expensive though. Okay, says I use my phone as a gaming handheld. No, I'm talking about gaming handheld, not a phone though. I know what you mean though. But look, right now we got 35% saying I do, 24% say not yet buying one on sale, and people say no. That's the 35. But if you add 35 and 24, that is literally 54% that are looking at these handhelds. Incredible. That's bigger than the no though. You can get a decent PC for $900K. Just get a exactly. There you go. See, just get a ROG Ally. That's the whole point though. And that's what I'm saying though. Wait for the Helix though. Once you get the Helix, then you can decide if you want to get a nice PC or something. And of course, you got the handheld. The Xbox ROG Ally X is actually pretty good though. I hear good stuff about it. Yep, you can do that. You can get a Bluetooth keyboard and plug that in, sucker in there, and use it as a Bluetooth too. We don't know what the Helix is. Says Rachel, yeah, but you know, you can wait on it though. It says it's gonna be like the PC, and it's just gonna be developing one thing. That's it. We're gonna get Steam and all that shit. Why in the blue hell am I gonna get a PC though? After that one though, see what I mean? All right, that's cool. That's cool. The Helix is a hybrid. Yep. You know, that's why I'd rather wait for the Helix though. It would be nice to see SL Bluetooth dongle for Xbox console. What is a Bluetooth dongle though? Bluetooth dongle. What is that though? Let me see. Bluetooth dongle. Learn new stuff, my friends. Learn new stuff. Oh, I'm zoomed in. Sorry about that, chat. Did not know I was zoomed in though. Oh, my big face though. There you go. Grumpy Shaman says, I have a Legion Go, got it secondhand, tried NVIDIA GeForce now, and it's incredible. It feels native. See what I mean, though? And here's the funny thing, though. This is a gaming handheld, but it's a PC gaming handheld, though. It is a PC thing, so that's what I'm saying, though. PC just keeps on growing. And if I put a poll like who owns a PC, holy shit, a gaming PC is shoot. It's gonna be big though. So we have to choose because Game Pass or exclusive because Jed says so. The thing is though, here's what sucks though, Sanchez. These guys are bringing that into subject. And I hate that they're bringing that into subject, my friends. They should not bring that into subject. They should not bring that subject. Oh, should we get exclusive? Should we get Game Pass? And now you got all these YouTubers talking about this. Why? But wait. You guys do reviews, you guys get codes, so why? Of course you guys want that back. Just for your content, because you guys are greedy. You want the content creation. Me? Look, I would love to have exclusives back, yes. I would love that. I would love to have exclusives. I would love to have Game Pass be on the right spot. I would love to have all that stuff come together. But the thing is, if we do not have marketing and presence, we ain't got shit. We just got a box with games. That's it. We need marketing and presence. We need Call of Duty. Because like I said, though, from the back I heard good stuff. Right? I've heard some good stuff from the back. But the main question I asked was, what are you going to do with Call of Duty, though? You too, Grumpy Shaman. Have a good one, my friend. I own 4 gaming handhelds. Did you go on Steam or Xbox? Damn, bro, boy. You have a lot of things, though. Exclusive and Game Pass can coexist together. They can make all discounts. You get Game Pass now deeper for the Game Pass subscribers. That's how it is, though. Why can't we have both? Why do we need to? Why do we have to get a negative thing that's going on that can easily be fixed, right? It can easily be fixed, but okay, let's turn this one into a positive. But this one that's been positive, let's make it a negative, though. I'm like, why do we need this unbalance again? Why don't we balance on them both? Have it beautiful, balanced out. But in the end, though, market and have presence. To have these both beautiful things keep on going. That's the thing that I don't understand, though. COD let Game Pass because the community said it was okay. The same can happen with Game Pass exclusive discussion. Yep. And they're going to say it's okay because, you know, they want exclusives, though. But, Rach, I got a question. What happens if it comes up to 80 or 90, though? I want to see how they're going to do with that. I have a dedicated handheld gaming station set up with dock, monitor, keyboard, mouse, and controller. That's what I mean, though. Look. 35 plus 17 right now. I'm not going to buy one yet. Yeah, it still keeps on growing, though. That's 47%. Now we're up to no. Okay. My keyboard is struggling today. No, Michael X, no, you gotta get a new keyboard. No. Why do Xbox want Xbox to be like PlayStation? Why wants one game a year, more live service stress? No, thank you. Dark Zone? I don't know. Good question. That's actually a good question. Why would he want it to be this way? Why can't we be the different one, the rebellious one? Why can't we be the ass kickers out here? Why do we always have to be like this company? Seriously, I just don't get it. So the 360 was the place. Just lock up a few big games is not hard. People can respect Xbox more. You can still the rest of the libraries on PS. Google Poll, you can lock every. Listen, we need marketing and presence, my friend. That's all we need, nothing else. And I'm telling you, Google Poll, that's what we need because it's missing. That's the only thing. I always go out there. Like, look, we have a 25th anniversary happening right now. And we got the Xbox Fan Fest coming up, cool. We got a lot of cool things coming up, fantastic. But marketing and presence is the most important feature. And we need to go out there, get control back to Mexico, get control back in Brazil. We need to have those consoles out there. We need to have that presence out there. We need to kick ass over there for these guys to be happy. Because look, it's sad that we have to see that in Mexico. You got to go to the other stores to try to pick it up. Not in the major stores, it's not there. You're like, what the hell? And Fable? Well, I don't know about Fable though, but the next Halo though could be exclusive, and the next Gears of War E-Day could be exclusive too, because I know Asha's looking at that. But the question is, oh, this feels good. You gotta love this thing, scratch your back though. But the question is, will they kill Resto? In order to Xbox be like PlayStation, it needs to toss on the COD exactly. Fine, he's okay with PlayStation games going to Nintendo PC and PlayStation. He doesn't just want them on Xbox. Do the same. Oh, okay. I should be like Colin then? Okay, I don't want it to be there. Yeah. That's a dumb statement. And it's like what always Alex says. Well, why don't you want your company to make money though? Why don't you want that though? That's something I ask myself. Why don't you want that? Why don't you want your company to make money? Hey, Azan, how you doing? Pluto B Gamer Terrell. What's up, man? Happy Memorial Day, my friend. Yeah, you guys are Memorial Day. Us, it's a normal day here. But we're getting bad storms though. I gotta check the weather because I ain't going far today, my friends. No way. Yes. Oh man, chat. I gotta tell you a story. So you guys remember on Friday I was wearing my spandex and my motorcycle clothes on here, right? I didn't get up so you guys don't see me in spandex though. So I went away for the weekend. It rained just a teensy bit. I didn't get that wet, but on Sunday though, when I got back home though, I was riding. I was like, oh, okay, a little bit of rain from Terrenas to Arenoso. It was just a little bit of rain. But after that, on the way, it was sunny, nice and bright. I was like, okay, everything's sunny, nice and bright. I'm going to get home, it won't be that rainy. Chat. I got my scuba diving license, though. I became Louis the Diver on a motorcycle. I'm not kidding you, though. I was going through puddles on my motorcycle, running through puddles. My boots have water in them. Then when I flipped them, it was all the water came out. Oh my God, we have had such bad storms since Sunday that But I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm telling you, man, I came here home, man. I took all my clothes off. I was wet. Man, no joke, man. It was annoying. It took me a while to take that clothes off though, because man, when you're really that wet, it's tough to get the clothes off. Oof, it was heavy. Huh. Especially gear with armor and spandex though. Holy smokes. Hold on a second. Sony trying to lock down Marvel characters. Microsoft should lock down DC characters. That's true though. Jess should make a poll to PS fans. Do you prefer Sony exclusives have one new game a year, or Sony for the PC had 3 or 4 new games a year? Oh man, you see, and this is what I'm talking about though. Look, this is from my chat, personal chat here. This is what they're saying though. Everyone's saying that they're taking day one games off of Game Pass. Everyone is saying that now. See, That's what they're saying in here. It's one of the principle of it. Sony does that shit all the time. They do. So let me see. No worries, those games are going to get hacked and hell and back. I will be playing on the modded PS5 and PCs in no time. La Fala says Diego 6. Oh man, but yeah, he should do that poll though. He should do that poll. So let me go out here on Twitter. Let's see what's going on Twitter because I haven't been in the gossip place out there on Twitter today. Let's see what's cooking, my friends. Let's have some fun. Going on the list, chat. Just reading some stuff. Oh God, I'm not gonna say what I read though. So funny the stuff. Something I just read out there. You guys will see the news later on. I can't show this on the show though because it's gonna make some. Oh man. So here, let me see. This is a good. Oh, Push Square on fire, man. Push Square's been on fire though. Oh Lord. Now I'm gonna put this on Copilot because it's a lot to read though. Look at this, chat. Look at this. And now, chat, they're asking for info for this thing. For feedback. Oh. Now it's raised. The price of PlayStation wants your thoughts on PS Plus. Now they want the thoughts on PS Plus. Now they do. You can't make this shit up, Chad. You just can't. You can't. Oh, Lord. Email survey sent out to PS5, PS4 users. It is stated in the email that any feedback will help us improve the service. PlayStation touches on topics for breadth. Okay. Let's see though. The survey begins by asking how satisfied you are with the following features: access to games available through the subscriptions, online multiplayer experiences, PS Store discounts, shared play, 100 gigabytes of cloud storage, game saves, overall value of the subscription. And who is this dude? Get away. PlayStation asks how likely to renew your PS Plus subscription when it expires, and options vary from very likely to very unlikely. I wonder if I got that survey though. That's a nice jacket though. It's got armor though. Let's keep going though. Oh God. Man, now they're looking for a survey. Wow. That's some crazy stuff. But chat. Listen up. The crazy ones gotta go chat. I gotta go spend some money now. I gotta go buy some iPhone cables. Because my iPhone cable broke over the weekend, and so I had to charge it with whatever. I had to charge it with a battery pack thing that I had to put it on the back in order for it to charge. So I gotta go buy some cables before the rain starts to pour, because let me check the weather right now, and it seems like we're gonna have a very bad storm incoming today. So yeah, it's gonna rain though. Shoot. So I gotta wait till 1 p.m. to get out. Damn. But yeah, we're gonna have a really bad rainstorm coming in today. So yes, I gotta head out and start buying those cables. So chat, like always, let me end this poll. Before I go, tell me what you've all been playing, guys. What you always been playing? So look, like I said though, 39% said I do, 39% no, and 18%. But if you add that 18% to the 39, that's a 50. So that's what I'm saying though. PC is growing little by little, my friends. It's growing. He's not going to people though, and that's why the Helix is going to be a PC hybrid, because people are going to these boxes. They're going to play more on PC though. FH6 too much? Nice, nice, nice. I'm still finishing The Witcher 3, and yesterday I started playing the Lego Batman, my friends. So let me tell you something, that Lego Batman, it's special. If you guys want to buy a day one, go for it. If you guys want to wait for a sale, go for it too. But listen, down the road, and if it comes to Game Pass, enjoy it on there. No joke, enjoy it on there if it comes to Game Pass. But really, it's a game I really recommend. It's been a fun game. I'm laughing my butt off with that game. That Lego Batman is pretty cool. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not a big Lego game fan, but that one's fun though. I gotta say it's fun. Google Post says FH just got me back to FH4 and FH5 to finish some. Alright, that's good. That's good. That's nice though. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yep, yeah, it says Forza, obviously. Yeah, I'm still finishing Witcher 3, man. I gotta get to that DLC. Cause I got a thing on my face. I'm like, I wanna get rid of that damn thing on my face though. I gotta finish that damn DLC, man. Shit. Just for me to finish that damn game, get it out the way. So I can hop onto something else. But yeah, I'm playing Witcher 3, Subnautica Below Zero, because Subnautica 2 already finished it pretty much. I'm at the end of the demo though, so I'm just gonna wait for more things to pop up from that game. Not the demo, the what is it? Oh, I forgot the name of it. And also I'm playing the Batman Lego. Real fun game. I really recommend it. So guys, if you want to buy it now, go for it. If you want to wait for a sale, go for it. And if you want to wait for it to come to Game Pass, which I hope one day it does, then go for it. But it's a really fun game, my friends. It's really, really a great game. I'm really having fun with it. All right, chat. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit that bell. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to say something, though. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you all for your super chats. Thank you all for your memberships. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. I love you guys to death. And seriously, I'm going to go out there and probably suplex Joey. Because Joey said he was going to come by here today, and he didn't. He hid. And he's been hiding. I don't know why. You should come by tomorrow, though, but damn. I'm going to check out what's up with it, though. But chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, also hit that bell so I can tell you when XBI content comes on. And guys, have a beautiful night. Do mean a beautiful and an awesome Monday, and also beginning of the week. And as always, I will see you guys on the Xbox International Podcast when we do come back at 7 p.m. ET with Sabo, the Big Plume, and Sound Cypher. And on Fridays, if I'm they don't XP en Español with Elvis Elencita and Metal Berserker. And last but not least, good morning with Crazy Lou Gaming. When I send the signal out over there on Twitter X, Blue Sky, Discord, and YouTube. And that's why you gotta hit that bell so you can know when the crazy one comes on talking about what's happening in the gaming news world. Chat, have a beautiful day, and have a beautiful Memorial Day too. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning on Good Morning with Crazy Lou Gaming. Bye, y'all. Have an awesome one.